Hello all newcomers, and welcome back fellow Aeternians. As always, it is me, Emperor AP, and today we are going to be hanging out, playing Minecraft again. We're going to be talking about a lot of world news that's been happening. But real quick, let me go ahead and drop the link for this live stream in the description for everybody, so that I can share that in the Discord. So give me just 1 second and I will have all of that set up for you guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out and for joining us. There are some of you who are really big into the live streams and who jump in almost as soon as we get started, and there are some people who actually have difficulty. I wanted to bring up, a lot of people don't know it, but they don't have our notifications on. So if you go, I can look at the stuff in YouTube Studio where I see like the majority of people don't actually have their notifications set up for it, and I think it's just by mistake. So if you want to get updates on when our Minecraft live streams are, when we do our hangouts, when we upload videos, go into our channel, make sure you have those notifications set up so that you can get notification reminders for when we do all this stuff. And also a great way to do it is by joining our Discord, because if you join our Discord, we always update and it'll give you a notification as well when we are live streaming. So that's definitely something cool to do, and I appreciate you guys all for hanging out with us. If you will give me 1 second, I'm trying to pull up the live stream so we can see all these comments from everybody, all the cool cats out there. See what everybody's talking about in our chat. So give me just 1 second while I get that pulled up. We got 4 viewers. Thank you guys already. We got 4 viewers jumping in almost immediately. Like I said, I think we would have a big blow up if everybody had their notifications on, but for some reason YouTube is terrible and doesn't just automatically put the notification, or somehow it gets like offset for some people, where some people have it and some people don't. So if you run a YouTube channel, that's definitely important. Make sure to tell people to get their notifications on, and for you guys, definitely please put those notifications on, because I love talking to y'all and hanging out with y'all, and sometimes it's hard when YouTube's being weird and doesn't give you guys the notifications. So we're trying to grow, we're trying to get everything set up for ourselves, and that's a big way to help, is by just having as much of our audience participating, because it also makes it cool because people can see you guys and see the comments and see how much support there is for the Empire and for micronationalism in general. So it's super cool to see everybody come out, and the more that we can get everybody connected, the better we can have that outcome. So right now I'm going to go ahead, like I said, I'm trying to pull up our live stream so that I can get everybody in. There's also been a ton of stuff going on in the world that I want to talk about. There's been a whole bunch of like protests around the world. Basically every part of the world right now, in one way or another, is protesting. And that has some interesting consequences for micronationalism. I'm not sure if too many people are aware, but when things like that are happening in larger political arenas, in macro-national political arenas, that makes us a great platform to talk about those things, and it makes micronationalism something which allows people to gravitate to the ideas that they feel excited about versus the ones in their macronations that they feel worried about, or that they feel like they can't get comfortable with. So right now, like I said, I am trying to get our live stream up. I'm trying to get into YouTube Studio, but YouTube Studio is being dumb right now. So I'm going to probably just jump in directly to our video through YouTube itself. See if I can't get that chat up, because that's what we want. We want that chat up, because I miss you guys and I'm excited to hear what everybody is talking about. I'm also going to jump into the voice channel on Discord here in a minute. If you guys aren't a part of our Discord, you definitely should be, because that's where it's all happening at. That's where you can come on the live stream if you want and talk about your issues, what's going on with your nation, whether micronation, macronation, whether you're a citizen of the Empire. We have a lot of citizens that come on and hang out and talk about how they feel about world situations and events and things. So it's always very, very cool to see that going on. But real quick, like I said, I am trying to get this Discord up, and I'm gonna pause that. Hey, we got a whole bunch of people in the chat. KTM said hello. What's going on, KTM? Always good to hear from you. What's going on, Jojo? Golden Videos and Vlogs, Samurai, how are you guys doing? Jojo said I'm gonna have to tutor, so I'll be back later. See you, Jojo. Tell us what you tutor when you get back. I'm curious, man. That's cool. Matthew Hubbard said hello from Matthewtopia. Hello, Matthew. Hope you're doing well, and I hope Matthewtopia is killing the game out here. Zaria said, hey, what's going on? We see Zaria in the chat a lot. It's good to hear from her. Joseph Pina said they just renamed themselves the Greater Eternal Empire, so we're about to hear about that in a second. Golden Video said Eternia should have an alliance called the Eternian Union. We've talked about alliances before. Alliances are sketchy and they're hard to deal with, so alliances can be great, but we really have to fine-tune what we want to do with our alliances specifically, so we can get into that later. Matthew said protests cause large rises in micronations. Agreed, they really do. When there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the world, you see micronationalism just kind of shoot up in popularity because there's a lot that people feel dissatisfied with in their own countries. But yeah, right now we are going to jump into it. For some reason, on Streamlabs, my comments aren't showing up, and that is making me absolutely sad. I'm not sure why my comments aren't showing up, so I'm going to Google it. Boop. Streamlabs, chat, trying to fix the chat. Okay, so chat box not showing up. This is a real issue. Oh no, it's saying I'd have to like stop and log out and log back in. That's gross. I kind of don't want to do that. I guess I'll just check the chat periodically on YouTube, so if you guys don't mind hanging out for a second. Brobin said, hey, what's going on, Brobin? I sure do remember you. It's good to see you, and I hope you're enjoying your day. Matthew said, common misconception. Oh, Matthewopia. My apologies, not Matthewtopia. Matthewopia. My apologies. Josephina said, I mentioned a date, 9/19/20. That is an important event for my empire. That's cool. Congratulations. Golden Video said, has anyone heard of Brewland? I personally have not heard of Brewland, but maybe you can tell us about Brewland. Because right now I'm about to get into our Minecraft server. If you guys don't know, we've been on a Bedrock server for a little while, hanging out, and tonight I'm also eating my dinner while I hang out with you guys. I'm eating some pizza, so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to be eating while we talk about micronational world events, about everything that's been going on in the world, and trying to figure out what we can do about our own nation. One of the things I'm super excited about, like I said, first off, guys, make sure you, because we had issues. Minecraft board. Yeah, sure, absolutely. You just have to add me as a friend. I'd have to go in, accept it, do all that. Matthew said no problem. Brobin said Minecraft name tag Soviet Royal 9. Golden Videos said an Australian micronation ran off beer. Oh, yeah. No, that's that advert thing. That's that group that's like, we're just a beer brewery, but we decided to call ourselves Brewland. I have heard of that. That's dumb. You shouldn't just start a business and then try and market it as a micronation for publicity. You should have a legitimate reason for starting a micronation. Josephina said, if you want to know, Your Majesty, you'll find out on September 19th. I guess so. Golden Videos and Vlogs said, which goes by the name of Brewland. Sorry if I type slow, I'm on mobile. That's alright, I understand. And also, yeah, I did see the like commercial type thing for Brewland, and it seemed really, really dumb. I kind of hate that, but you know, it's not my thing, so I'm not that worried about it, I guess. But it's not my fave, not nearly, not as much as you guys are my fave. So that's the real issue. Like I said, I don't know why my chat isn't showing up. It's bugging me, but Normally I can just have my chat up and it's not a problem. But that's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing, hanging out. I don't know if you guys have seen. Whoa, my thing got beat up. I don't have my. There's a hole in my entire house. That sucks. That's alright, we'll rebuild. Uh-oh. Creeper down there. Gotta beat him up. Oh, not creeper, zombie. Zomboy. Uh-oh, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? What is that? That wasn't even a zombie, that was a dude. That was a whole dude. Oh goodness, oh goodness, why are y'all trying me today? Spiders trying me, zombies trying me, I can't get away from it. Oh goodness. Alright, I'm out of here. Spider's not touching me again. There we go. Alright, I'm leveling up slowly, I'm getting my money, trying to get better, trying to survive. That's one of the things people always comment on these videos about, is that I die too much and that I don't like sincerely try and live and level up and grow. So that's what I'm gonna do. Today I'm gonna actually see if I can just survive and thrive and keep my points, try and level up, keep this going. So while we do that, like I said, one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about today are all the things happening in the world. One of my largest issues as a micronationalist has been seeing that people who start micronations many times have great intentions, but end up falling flat on those because they become more about some specific niche part of what they do rather than actually being a nation themselves. And I think people lose their way in that. So like for example, many micronations are charitable, which is a fantastic thing, but you should not conflate micronationalism with only having a purpose for being charitable. If that's your only intent with a micronation, then by all means become a charity. Don't become a nation. Should have the goal of attempting to represent people and attempting to grow a society from that nation. So if that is not your interest, you may need to think about rebranding your efforts in that. And I think that's something that's difficult for a lot of micronationalists, because they either come in really wanting to start a nation and end up finding so much difficulty that they either leave or change their goals, or vice versa, they come in without any intention of actually starting a nation, and just continue to brand themselves as that until they get bored and leave, which I don't think is beneficial either, because it makes people think that you will be doing a lot more than you actually will be. It's misleading for those who actually do consider themselves more legitimate micronationalists. So it's kind of a hard thing to cope with. And it's something that should really be thought about when you are deciding whether or not you're going to make a micronation, become a micronation, etc. As well, I'm going to start cooking these little foodies so I can not level up, so I can survive, and then we will continue our chat. And if anybody wants to join me in the voice chat in Discord, please feel free. I am hanging out there right now. Hopefully you can hear the soothing sounds of my voice in that voice chat. I have some wood in there already, so I shouldn't die instantly. I hear this boy coming at me. Ooh, he's catching on fire. Ooh, I'll beat him up. Ooh, I'll beat him up. Ooh, he's done. He's done. He ain't got a chance. Ooh, he's done. Ooh, drown. Drown with it. Go ahead. Look at me silly. I'll punch you in your face. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and read some of these comments while I'm trying to hide from zombies that think they're better than me. There we go. Hey, I got that level up. Nice. Alright, oh, this guy too, thinking he's cool, hanging out in the daylight. You know zombies can't be out in the daylight. That's a scientific fact. It's not vampires, it's zombies. can't be out in the daylight. Alright. Edward Cullen looking zombie. Alright. Let me get into the chat again. So, Brobin says, is this joinable? It is joinable. Let me get into my Microsoft account. Let me get into my Microsoft account. And I should be able to accept your friend request. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Minecraft Microsoft account. There we go. Oh, it's an Xbox sign up, I guess. So it's your... This is so weird. Alright. So I'm gonna sign in real quick. We're getting this figured out. We're gonna get people in our game. We're gonna get Brobin in here. Brobin, I got you. You're my bro. Don't even worry. You'll be in this game. While we're hanging out and while we're talking, one of the things I am excited about is our Micronational Ranking Index. I haven't brought that up in a minute, but it is something that's about to become super, super relevant for the Empire of Aeternia, because what we're attempting to do is actually to update our website. We want to update it such that for both our Discord and our website, we want to allow people who are more serious about micronationalism and are interested in becoming more connected to the other micronations around them, that we want to allow them space to find like-minded individuals who may have a similar strength to them in micronationalism. So a similar size, I should say. So that's one of the big things that we are going to be talking about, just in how I'm going to set that up. What I'm thinking is, as we've talked about before, we just put in a sort of a paywall for our foreign dignitary role in our Discord server, and the reason being is that we're going to start adding a lot of perks to that role. If you become a foreign dignitary, I think it's like 1 or 2 cents for you to become a foreign dignitary. It's very small. If you decide that you want to pay that, it will allow you to have access to our Micronational Ranking Index, to be able to fill that out and get a rank, which you can then apply to your very own account on our website, which will be linked to our micronational map and other things, and will also allow you into the foreign dignitary or foreign relations chat in our Discord, where you can meet other similarly ranked micronationalists and discuss your future plans with them, potentially make alliances and things like that that have more depth and more understanding to them than just mutual recognition. This is going to allow people to have a direct way of comparing their micronation and another to see if they're a good fit for trade, for alliances, and that sort of thing. So right now I'm actually about to get into my Xbox profile so I can add some friendy boys and get Soviet Royal in this thing. So give me just 1 second. I'm trying to get Soviet Royal in here. Where you at? Soviet Royal, I gotta invite you. Soviet Royal, gotta invite you. Alright. So, Soviet Royal, I actually don't see you right now. The best thing that you can do, my Discord, not my Discord, my Microsoft account, my Xbox account is capital A, capital P, capital M, 529. If you add that account as a friend, if you send me a friend request, I can accept your friend request, and then I can invite you into my multiplayer world. So if you can get that done for me, I should be able to easy peasy get you set up in this game. So that is my account name. Capital A, capital P, capital M, 529, no spaces. If you add me as a friend, I will refresh and check it out in just 1 second, and I will get you in this game, sir. We will get you in this game. Ready for anything. I'm going to go ahead and eat since I'm going about this survival now. We're going to keep growing. I talked about this last time, but we are really getting to a cool place in our map. We have a whole lot of mines. We have a whole lot of different stuff that's going on. We have people who have built up a ton on our map, and I am super proud of all the work that we've done to get to this point. Especially just because when I first started it out, I was just running around a random world, and then people really came in and decided, you know, hey, we're going to build a throne room, and we're going to build all these different things. We're going to build different, you know, businesses and different districts as a part of the Micronation. So that's been something that is super cool to watch develop, and I'm glad has continued to grow. So while we do this, I'm going to kind of dig out just a little bit so that I can actually stack some sand up and continue adding to my statue here. So we're just going to boop, 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 and then I'm going to add like that, and then maybe one more, get them even. Perfect. I've just been wanting to do that for a long time. It's been lopsided for a long time. And now I fixed it. Oh no. It's not what I wanted. Oh no, I gotta fix the other side. Okay. Hold on. 2, 3, 4. I'm back up. Okay. Knock it down. Knock it all down. Boop. Let's see how that looks. While we're fixing up our Minecraft world. Now what this is a little statue. It's supposed to be, that one's, no, they're the same height. Okay. That one's taller than that one though. So I gotta fix that. Just by 1 block. That sucks. But it's fine. Yeah, so what this is actually the closest block Minecraft representation I could make of our symbol for the Empire of Aeternia. I'm sure we could do more if we put more time into it, but if you guys like it and you guys want to help contribute to growing the Empire of Aeternia and to making our Minecraft state cooler and cooler, you guys should definitely help us to build a better statue, because that's something that I kind of need to do. I also need to get a weapon right now. Is my biggest thing. It helped me kill these fishies easier, helped me get more points. Right now I'm at level 2, which is I'm sure some of you might be surprised to find out, but fairly high on my level skills. I haven't really been pushing too hard to try and stay alive in this game previously, so I'm trying to get up. Hey, KTM said they're back. Claptrap Hero said I'm a big fan. What's going on, Claptrap? I'm really glad that you're a fan, dude. I really appreciate you for watching the channel, hanging out. Like I said before, definitely get those notifications turned on, because we have had a lot of difficulty with trying to reach our viewers because notifications just are terrible in our thing. We have a lot of people hanging out in the voice chat. I don't know if anyone can hear me or if I can't hear them, so let me see if I can get this figured out. Hold on.
Hello?
Sorry for the weirdness for you guys in the chat. I just realized there were other people in the chat with me, so I need to fix this. Let's see. Let's see about this. Yeah. Okay, somebody say something.
Hello.
Hey, I can hear you, KTM. Hey, it's KTM. Hey, and Steven sent me a message. Let's see. Hey, Steven said it'll be here in 20. Alright, I am so excited. Everybody's jumping in. We're playing Minecraft. I'm surviving Minecraft. We got the whole game on lock. This is cool. Alright. So, yeah, like I said, one of the bigger things that I wanted to talk about today is just...
You hear me?
Hey, hold up. Let's see who this is. Hey, it's... Oh, dang it. I'm in my personal messages. KT, a whole bunch of
0
different,
2.
a whole bunch of different symbols.
Yeah.
Hey.
Is my voice still glitchy?
It's better, but there's just a lot of background noise. I don't know what's up with it.
Oh, okay, I know what's up. I'll be right back.
It's going very well. Sorry, I was in the middle of a bite. I'm eating.
Oh, nice. I'm not watching the stream. I am currently typing up 3 separate essays for my
3?
college in the classroom. Yes.
Wow. And I'm sorry, what is that for?
For my college in the classroom comprehension.
College in the classroom comprehension.
Yes.
So you're bringing a college to your classroom, or they're...
Yeah, basically, it's basically a college.
Alright, I'm back.
Hey.
It's basically it's a college course where you get credit for, but you take it while you're at school.
Nice. College simulator level 1. I love it. I'm getting bullied by these zombies. Right. Well, this one has gold armor, so I obviously have to murder him and take his things. No respect for the dead.
Or the undead.
Right. He's about to be re-dead. But yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I wish you good luck with writing 3 essays at once. That sounds like garbage, and
Oh god.
I've never ever had to do that in college, so I've had to write essays, but not 3 at once, so I don't think that's accurate to the college experience.
Yeah, and I'm also writing a 4th one, but that's for my college history.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I did 2
cool.
college classes. I don't know how I got into
Nice. What are you learning about in your collage?
Well, in the English one, I'm learning, or basically like going over college submissions, like how to send an application to go to college. And in history, we are going over what our first semester is going to be.
Nice.
Federalism, politics, all that yards.
Very cool. And do you feel like you're gonna learn some new stuff from this class? Do you feel like it's gonna enlighten you about world history?
Yes, to the point of expanding on what I already know. Because history class in the local high school is the same time we grew up, but I'm the same subject, time and comprehend. So I kind of self-taught myself history. So I'm looking forward to now correcting things that may be wrong that I've learned about, but also expanding on what I already know.
Very cool. I will say, so for the South in general, I think you kind of get a little bit of difference. Like there's a difference between, like, you'll do your state's history generally, you'll do like federal history, national history, and then I guess American history, and then you'll do like a world history, or they even have like specializations in your AP stuff. You can do specifically like European Enlightenment or like something like that. There were like specifically like ancient history courses, but it wasn't too advanced. There wasn't anything that went super in depth.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm doing specifically going now in American politics and like why our government set up the way it is today.
Nice. So is it a history class or is it like a government politics class?
It says it's history, but from what the teacher's saying, we're gonna go over more on the politics, so the history side of it's going over like what past politics has formed our government.
Yeah. I got you. Pretty cool. So you feel like you're gonna learn about a lot of notable figures?
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Actually, one thing I learned today is if you look at Trump's approval rating compared to other presidents, his is the most consistent. Like, it's literally like a flat line compared
But-
to everyone else's.
Oh.
But that may not be good though. Like if your flat line is like on average lower, then it's like, well,
Yeah, he's staying at the 45%. 3%.
I'm
interesting.
not gonna lie, I bet a lot of people are hoping that Trump flatlines.
I mean, he kind of is. He's not gaining
Get it?
new supporters, but at the same time, he's not losing his base.
No, did you know? It was a joke, like flatline, dying, you get it?
He was making a murder joke. Well, not a murder. I guess just death in general. But
Yeah. You got it.
I get you. I get you. Do you think there's gonna be more like election meddling issues this coming election?
Oh, with mail-in voting? Yeah, definitely. Thousands of votes get lost every year with mail-in. So, and that's just in states. Imagine how the chaos is gonna be with it being national.
I guess I mean like more with like other nations interfering in our elections. Like, do you think there's going to be more scandals about like Russia trying to elect Trump, or like I heard China was trying to elect Biden, and like things like that?
Yeah, there's gonna be definitely a lot of
That was more propaganda from Trump, I think.
Oh, maybe
all
so.
that. And there's also I definitely see Russia, especially China. China hates Trump a lot because he's basically wrecked their economy by like calling them out on everything.
Mhm.
So I definitely see China more than Russia meddling.
Interesting. Well, I mean, if Russia has like the past for it, like if they've already meddled and been like caught doing
Why
like
is there
interesting. I guess I just never heard like it was never as big a news, so I didn't know how frequently it had occurred in the past, or to what
And
effect
it's
it
so
had
big
occurred.
because on that night of 2016, Trump went from losing completely wiping the floor and turning traditionally blue states like Pennsylvania red.
Interesting.
So there was more investigation this time because there was a lot of calls from the left to try to pull something up, and they found things from Russia that looked like Russia's trying to help elect Trump because of his business ties with Moscow.
Ooh. And so I'm sorry, you said you were in Pennsylvania as well?
Yes.
Interesting. Did you feel like there was a difference between? Did you feel like there was anything noticeable about this election? Previous, I
current
guess,
one?
2016.
Or previous 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in the rural areas of Pennsylvania that traditionally would vote Democrat because we're like, especially where I live, because lots of unions, we're heavily a unionized community.
Yeah.
So we would traditionally vote for Democrats, but over the years, the Democratic Party's become less and less of a union party,
Mm-hmm.
and the Republicans has been taking advantage of that, convincing union people to vote for Republicans and stuff like that. And on top of that, in areas where like people say their electoral votes won't change anything,
Mm-hmm.
Trump heavily encouraged them to actually go out and vote and convince people, especially not just in Pennsylvania, but all like nationwide, especially in the Midwest, that your votes do count, your votes will make a difference. So I see like there was more optimism, more debate of should you vote traditionally always vote for, or are you going to vote for a new candidate that you oppose your vote?
Fair enough. Do you think it was with?
Hello.
Hello.
Guten Tag.
Do you think it was with like a positive message though? like, do you think that people were voting for the the benefit of seeing like all Americans try to be better represented, or do you think it was like a protest thing? Because a lot of Trump supporters that I had seen were saying like, I want to do it because it's against the establishment. I want to do it because it's against like whatever traditional politics. So I was I guess I was surprised to see that more people paid into a political system that they felt like was going in the wrong direction as almost a like a protest vote. But also, I am gonna say this: I died a minute ago, and I'm making a controversial claim. Minecraft is harder than Dark Souls. I'm throwing it out there. I can handle Dark Souls. I can play Dark Souls, and like do fairly well. I die all
Are
the
you a
time.
veteran? Are you a veteran of Dark Souls? Because if you're a veteran, of course it's gonna be easier to play Dark
Oh,
Souls.
hey, I'm back. I can hear you guys now.
Hey,
So Emperor AP, that was a very good question. I think it's a little bit of a mix of both. Both because people were very frustrated with the Democrats in 2016. So, I believe it was both a protest vote and also because Trump was promising a lot of things that a traditional candidate wouldn't promise.
let me ask you this: Do you think that? Do you think that the way that our system is set up, the way that the United States political system is designed, do you think that do you think that it really has a big difference what an individual candidate does or says, or do you think that people are going to kind of vote one way or the other? Like, do you think it's just more predictable than what one candidate being considered better than the other?
I say it's a little bit of a mix. It depends on like the message, and another thing that contributed to the 2016 election is that Trump had no previous political office. So like he was a throw-up candidate and he shocked everyone. Time and time again, people said he wouldn't hit the percentages needed and stuff. So people saw a lot of potential in him. So, I think it's definitely more of a mix than just one straight thing because the time leading up to that election with the FBI scandals and the scandal with Trump talking in like the locker room talk thingy-mabob about, women.
Yeah.
So it was definitely like, do you want to vote someone that talks about women that way as kind of like a joke? Or do you want to vote for someone that shares national secrets? Or do you want to vote for a third-party candidate that probably won't even make it to 1%
Right.
of the national vote? So people were in a big thing. That's even why like a lot of people didn't vote because they didn't like any of the candidates.
Right, and so it's interesting. When I was in high school, I did a history project on apathy in the United States and how the majority of our population just doesn't vote, and how that does affect elections in a large part, and what could be done about that. I think that also kind of set up my interest in micronationalism, or at least was a preface to it before I knew what micronationalism was. But it's interesting because in my understanding of things, and especially in the college history courses that I've taken and the government and politics courses I've been through, there are predictable patterns that you can see in election cycles. So most of the time, you will have one party, whether it's the Democratic or Republican Party, who will get somebody into office. They'll get them into office. That person will usually win their second term as well, So you'll have 8 years of the same party in office, and then it will flop. And then regardless, because of voter dissatisfaction and people being unhappy with the way that the government's working, they will then say, well, it's all blank party's fault. If my party would have been in, things would have been different. So then there are people who are those swing voters in the swing states who will completely flip sides and will vote for the opposite party because of that dissatisfaction. And so then you will see a Democrat go in for 2 years, or a Republican go in for 2 years. And then that cycle will just keep going back and forth.
Yeah, and also to capitalize on that, both parties, especially nowadays, are heavily partisan. Like, they are doing everything that they both respectively can do to make sure that whatever bill or legislation is getting passed, it's going to favor only their side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically who can, screw the other side over the most to make them look like they're the enemy, like they're the worst people ever, in order as a bid to, convince swing voters
to vote for their side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I say it's a result of having a two-party system. Like, George Washington did not address this, making political parties will tear apart the Union. And I disagree with him saying it'll tear apart the Union. I do see it as making a political divide, because whatever one administration will do, the other one will do a complete 360 on it. It'll be like we never made any progress with the previous administration because the new one ended everything that the other one started because they disagree with them.
I'm sorry.
Hello, New York.
I was just gonna say, it's really interesting. I think that's it's a fairly valid point, but I think I could see it happening based around how we decide as a nation to handle our growth and our own internal conflicts. Because as of the moment, that kind of back and forth really does hurt progress for our country, doing things that would advance us in places like education and in the medical field, in scientific fields, just in general in the overall wealth and security of our population. We have been for a long time one of the most successful nations by many metrics in the world, and it's interesting because in having that top position, we are now, I feel like, in a large part going quicker and quicker into a stagnation, not necessarily a decline, but a point where it's harder and harder for us to make continued progress, because the types of progress we would need to keep up with other countries who are making similar strides to compete with us are doing so in a more unified way. And I think that's a particularly difficult thing for the future of the United States, because as countries who oppose us become better and better at reaching milestones before we will, it makes it harder and harder for us to have successful alliances. It makes it harder and harder for us to keep Americans, whether individuals or as an entire country, in the forefront of anything. And then eventually we are more susceptible to being affected by larger foreign powers.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel a lot of that. The thing is that when you say competitors, our competitors are mostly dictatorships, and whatever the government says goes, and there's usually no criticism. But when you're looking at America, the people decide, the people elect, and the people can criticize, and politicians don't want to lose their vote, because they have accountability over that same time obeying the will of the people. So it's not only just two parties, screaming at each other and pointing fingers, but also Americans, going out and protest stuff that they don't like, even though it would probably be beneficial to our country.
Absolutely.
What's better, individualism or law and order, or a little bit of mix?
Interesting. I wonder why you specifically chose law and order as the opposite of individualism.
Because if you look at China, the reason why the states control everything that can hurt the government is because if it hurts the government, it causes unrest. It causes people to question the law and the current order set up in the country. Same thing with Russia. You know. In America, we pride ourselves a lot on individualism with cooperation with law and order. Individual can have a say in what that law and order is.
But that's not really accurate, right? Because, like, you can't personally decide what laws are. You have to have them voted.
We elect officials that represent what we believe law should be.
But
and that person backstabs us, we're going to go out and protest, and they're going to lose all of our votes because of the accountability.
But in large part, like we talked about, Americans don't vote because of that dissatisfaction. And a lot of time, I think
that's true.
People who both do and don't vote feel like they are being backstabbed because politicians will say whatever is necessary to get into office, but actually delivering on promises is an entirely different ballgame because you have everybody competing for their own interests and also making largely inflated statements that they can't keep. So I think
that is definitely true, especially here in the United States.
So then at a certain point, how do you say that we have much of any choice in the way that our government is run?
Because if you look at our history, you know, especially as a democratic republic, and then you compare it to democratic republics such as like the UK, France, like any country over in Europe or even the world, our government is the same as it was back after the Revolutionary War when we made our federal government. You know, like there hasn't been much reason for citizens to, you know, do what the French did and set up multiple republics because the people can decide to revolt.
I agree. We haven't changed our country in such a large sense that we have changed our structure of government, but there have been many changes to what the United States is, as in constitutional changes. We did have a civil war, so that was something that showed quite a bit of instability around the same time that the French, well, I guess not around that would be the American Revolution, but there was as well a lot of changes throughout our history to our Constitution, such as, you know, the abolishment of slavery, the ability for women to own property and vote, the ability for people of other races to vote. There has been a lot of constant change to what it is that someone would define as America. I think if you went back just 50 years and asked somebody what the United States is, they would give you a very different answer than what somebody would give you today.
My thing is moving around. You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm trying to fight a zombie boy. I'm at level 5. I'm surviving.
Yeah, I'm using the I'm using the Discord website, so whenever my phone turns off, like, I can hear you, but the microphone won't work for me, so I have to refresh the page.
Yes, I completely understand. As well, I'm sorry, one more thing, KTM, while we're, just for kind of a side note, everybody, KTM, being one of our citizens, as well as the rest of our citizens that we have, we've been talking amongst ourselves, and if you guys are really wanting us to have, we have a Bedrock version of Minecraft right now, but if we can also get, I know a lot of people have Java. If you guys want us to get Java, I would recommend donating to the channel because we are trying to save up money in order to do that, and we know a lot of people want to play, but they have Java instead of Bedrock. So if that's something you guys are interested in, we're actively working toward it, and we have the ability for you guys to donate either through our Patreon or through PayPal, and the links for both of those are in the description. But sorry, I was trying to make a little aside for everybody.
That's a wonderful idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, I definitely recommend that people do donate because they always want Java and stuff. So this is your chance. So hopefully,
Absolutely.
donate.
And we want Java too. It's just trying to figure out how we're going to balance our budget and make things work. So I think at this time, with the limited budget we do have, we haven't decided to make that approved yet. It'd be quite a large purchase on our part. But if you guys donate for it because you want it, it will definitely speed up that process.
Yes. So, like the main subject we've been talking on. Yes, I see why you can say that the culture has changed. That's because for the longest time, our culture has been based off European, dominated with smaller minorities contributing here and there. And so that's why, with today, with us having such a diverse country, and unlike here, like over in Europe, if say you're in Sweden,
Yes.
if you're an immigrant, they'll treat you differently because you're not hereditary Swedish. Well, over here in America, well, if you're an immigrant, congratulations, you're an American. It doesn't matter what your hereditary is.
Ooh, I feel like
So-
depending on who you talk to, that's
I know, it depends on this is based off what my history teacher's experience when he went over to Sweden and Iceland for his college. He just literally got out of college and got the job at my high school, so he's sharing lots of stories about his college life.
oh awesome.
But yeah, so that's based off of his experience, not mine.
Yeah.
It's not on the internet. So like that's just even when over in America, compared to other cultures, greatly influenced at the point of whether or not we're going to continue being dominated by European culture, or are we going to be more global, I guess, Canadian, or having more than culture, a lot of it's based off of European ideals that people brought over from Europe, colonization, etc. So when it comes up to Civil War, we have Civil War, yes. That was the most important thing we set up. However, that so I would get a sense of how it's structured, hasn't been reformed or changed like over France, like Republic 5 or Republic 6. Maybe 7 if Macron can control his own people. So, yeah, I mean, that's my take on it. But, also, yeah, like, with the, American and all that, but I definitely agree with you on, like, the reason why I was about the micronationalism is because I'm just kind of, I just want to be a part of a system that isn't a bunch of, fingers pointing at each other and being divided across political boundaries. Because at the end of the day, no matter what politics you believe in, you're going to still be American, but increasingly in the House and Senate, if you're Democrat, you're anti-American, or if you're a Republican, you're just a white nationalist, racist. So that kind of like goes towards the micronationalist community.
No, I completely
Okay, so I'm
agree.
gonna leave BC right now, but I'll be back later.
Absolutely, it was good
Something to do.
talking to you.
Yeah, good talking to you as well. So does anyone else want to take a spotlight from me?
Um,
While I type up an essay?
well, so I was just gonna say, I think you're completely right on that. That the um, the biggest thing for myself as well, being in micronationalism, has been um, trying to help with the idea that we don't have to be divided like that. That regardless of, very much like you said, regardless of what your political affiliation is, those votes, those things that are important matters to your nation affect you directly. So you shouldn't be picking them based off of which side you're on. You should be picking them based off of what's going to help the most Americans. Because it's not just you that you're voting for, it is you and your future generations and everyone else's future generations. So it's really important to think not just about where things are at the moment and what you feel like in your heart, but where America is as a whole, or any country is as a whole, and where it should be going in the future to give the most to the most people. The more that any one uh, individual in a nation is made wealthier or given a more stable life, that helps everybody else. So the more that the richer that the poorest people in a country are, the richer the nation is as a whole, because those people then determine what the bottom line is. They determine what the minimum level of spending that people are going to have in their life is. And it's really important that we make sure that there is competitiveness and that there is the ability for people to make choices with their money and with their votes, but that it is also imperative that we keep society moving forward, and that we ensure that people's quality of life is always going up. Um, on top of that, I think specifically for micronationalism, that's one of the beautiful things about it, is that if somebody's time and energy is so much more valued in a micronation than it is in a macronation. Micronations don't necessarily have the same ability to provide for those micronationalists as a macro nation does. But over time, I think, especially as micronationalism as an ideology grows, and as micronational communities grow, someone who may be in a poor situation in their home country will hopefully be able to find a small community of micronationalists to go to, that value them immensely, and that they can find a more stable and more successful life through. I think that's kind of the dream of micronationalism, and in a larger part, what people have called the American dream, but I think it's something that has been kind of divided up amongst political ideologies in most macronations. So I think going back to how we all influence each other, the more that micronationalism succeeds, the more that it shows that people can say, well, independently of how you decide you're going to run our macronation, this external government, I can still do things in my life and with my smaller community to change the world, and to show what we really want, what we really need, and to help provide those things directly for those people, instead of waiting on a government that may or may not be able to fulfill it. And I'm excited to see that happen. I really, really am. I want to make a video pretty quickly about why micronationalism is what it is, and what the ultimate goal of micronationalism is, because I saw that on the Micronations Reddit, that someone was asking, why, what's the end goal for most micronationalists? And they start their phrasing of their question off by saying, like, so we know people aren't really going to be able to create nations, so then why are you doing it? Is it just like a goof or whatever? Like, is it just for fun? And that really kind of bothered me, because it sets up the idea that they immediately don't believe in micronationalism. And I think what it is the starting of something that is a very, very exciting idea for the world. that even though it hasn't happened yet, that doesn't necessarily mean it's impossible. Before rockets were invented, people thought it impossible or incredibly difficult to get to the moon. They thought people would never get to the moon. They thought people would never walk on other planets. That seemed like something completely fictional. But over time, we continued to push toward those large goals and eventually succeeded there. So I think micronationalism isn't something that, as legitimately attempting to form states, isn't impossible, isn't something that someone can't do. It is something that is completely possible. It's just about the desire for that community to grow enough and the backing, the monetary backing behind that community to grow enough for those larger goals to be possible. Even if I can't establish a nation that will become as large as the largest macronation on Earth, that doesn't mean that my children can't continue that goal, and that doesn't mean future generations can't. That doesn't mean that eventually we won't be at a position where it's possible, because it certainly is. And all it takes are those small steps by dedicated people to eventually get to those larger ones. And I think in large part that's only a matter of time. We've seen on this channel alone, I've seen people who are incredibly dedicated to this and really do believe in it. So that's all it takes, is that start. Those people saying, I want to commit my time to this. I want to see this become a reality. Because as humans, we have been able to make an entire world a crazy interconnected place that is constantly advancing and growing and changing, all because we had the dream to do it, all because we had issues that we wanted resolved, and we wanted them resolved as quickly as possible. So we started moving toward goals that at the time seemed unlikely, that seemed like there wouldn't be anyone to support, and yet there was. I think it's incredible.
Yeah. Alright, well, I gotta let you go and finish typing up my third essay.
Absolutely. Good luck with your essay, man.
Thanks, and nice chatting politics with you.
Nice chatting with you. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
Hey.
And then there was only Steven in the shadows.
Hey, Steven emerges. I saw your name as soon as I clicked back. I was like, KTM's heading out. I wonder if anybody else is in the chat. Steven! It's a wild Steven. Hello, good sir.
What's good?
Not too much. We are hanging out. I actually need to jump in and see if I can get people into this game. Dang it. So people were like, let me into the thing, and then I've been waiting for people's requests, and nobody hit me up with a request. So
Damn,
I guess
they left you on red.
They did. They left me on red. And I think some of them left because they were upset because it didn't go through, but it's here. I didn't get anybody. Yeah. Sad stuff. But yeah. Let me check our comments while I'm on a bit of a break. Broben says, it says you're offline. Did you sign in because the game to invite the games is gray? I am signed in. We can discuss our deals on Xbox Live Party Chat. Yeah, everybody just talking and hanging out. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, if you guys are trying to send me requests, definitely hit me up. I should still be online. I'm playing the game actively. But yeah, Steven, do you want to tell us what you've been up to tonight?
Just I went on a run.
Ooh.
And yeah, no, nothing too special. Just sprint workout.
Very cool. I didn't know you were into running. Is that a big thing for you?
Yeah, it is actually. That's kind of my main game.
Hey, that's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah.
A very healthy life for someone preparing to go into the medical field. That's exciting.
I appreciate that. Yeah, just figure, try and get a scholarship somehow.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, so were you a runner on your like a high school team?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a senior.
Hey, hey, that's super cool. Congrats, dude.
Welcome back.
Um, I actually have
Good
a.
QS.
Hey, what's going on? I was gonna say, I have a friend who tonight her little sister is a senior and she's doing the whole like where you walk out on the football field and they like announce your name for being in band, and I wonder if they do the same thing for like track.
For what?
I was wondering if they do the same thing for track for you guys.
Do what? Call out your name if you did good?
And like, well, specifically for seniors, like, so for graduating seniors for sports teams, a lot of the time they'll be like, and here's no, like on the football field or whatever.
Yeah,
Or during
they do that and they
halftime.
say like what your prospects are for college.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it all, my school does this thing where it's usually like this year it was like 6 seniors.
Yeah.
There's a box of donuts. They share it between the people who are there,
Mhm.
and then they do a mile sprint.
Oh wow.
Yeah, around the track.
Crazy. A
was
mile
fun.
sprint?
I threw up. Well, not sprint, but like we go hard because the
Yeah.
real fun is the throwing up and then reminiscing about it.
Of course. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your throw up. I'm glad. You don't have to eat it again after, do you? You don't have to like reconsume the donut?
Oh God, no.
Okay. It's not
No,
a.
that's when everyone left and I came back to it.
Gotcha.
Those are free donuts, man. I'm not gonna waste it.
It's a personal ceremony.
It's a personal ceremony.
Personal ceremony.
You're in
Amazing.
the Steven.
Yep. Speaking of which, I'm eating slowly. I haven't been eating much of it, but I'm slowly eating.
What kind of pizza you nomming on, my guy?
A meat lover's pizza, the least healthy.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the least healthy. Are you into any sports, really?
I am. I was a lot more in high school. I have more time to dedicate. I was on my soccer team and my swim team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what about now? Do you still exercise kind of regularly or no?
My to be honest, no. I was about to make an excuse and to be like, well, my schedule's so big, but that's really just an excuse. No, not really. I don't. Because I have friends and stuff who are in like the same degree as me and like similarly hard degrees who like regularly work out. But no, I do not. I will every once in a while do like pull-ups and like try and add little things like that. I have a pull-up bar in my room that I will just kind of like when I'm coming or going, if I get in a mood, I'll just like do it a couple times. But it's not anything dedicated. I don't have a regimen. I don't really go on like walks or do too much. But yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. But that's great.
That's not like the worst. At least you are actively trying to exercise.
Yeah. It's just I know like for things like that to pay off in a larger sense, you really gotta be kind of committing to them. You gotta have some sort of regularity. But I try it.
Whatever floats your boat.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm gonna
Any
take that
downloads
as
the stream?
any. No, not yet. I know Steven had a proposition, but it hasn't come to life yet. Otherwise, I would have been tallying for you. I would have been like, "Here we go, Steven. It's time. Pay up." we have
Hello?
had 0. Hello.
Hey, I think I missed like the last 5 seconds of what you said.
Oh, you're good.
Internet connection here is slow.
I got you. Can y'all like see? Is the stream going all right, or is it just car?
No, it's just my like internet.
Oh, I get you. Also, FLD TV was in. What's going on, FLD? Yeah. So what I was saying is, I was making a joke. You asked if there were any donators, and I was saying no, there isn't. But if there were, I would have been keeping tally for you, and I would have been like, it's time to pay up, my guy. I would have been ready, because I know you had that proposition.
So yeah, for those of you in the stream who don't know, I had a proposition where every dollar donated was a mile to run, and then I kind of rethought that and think, well, people don't want to see me run like 8 miles in straight. Like, I like to think that I can put a funny face when my brain's half dead and I'm sweating and crying.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe you like run the entire like 8 miles or whatever, and then at the end of it, you have to tell a joke. Like you have to attempt to tell a joke while you're like heaving on the floor. It's the final punchline.
The fun punchline.
Also, I was gonna say it'd be crazy if that was like our biggest donation ever. Somebody's like, I'm donating 1,000. That's it. It's time.
I know people were saying they were going to, but of course they capped.
Yeah.
But no. Let's do every dollar donated to all the streams that I'm in is 20 push-ups.
Hey, we got it. Okay.
And that way I can actually like do it on stream.
I feel you. Wait, so then would you record yourself doing the push-ups, or would we just hear you grunting?
No, I can like share my screen on Discord, and you can just like put the screen on Discord.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be perfect.
So yeah,
Hey, quality control, do you have a Micronation?
I do not. No. Personally, I actually joined the whole community thing. Well, what? 4 months ago? Whenever I made AP, I was literally just looking up live streams with few to none viewers.
Hey.
And I just typed in micro because, to be completely honest, I was expecting someone to be live streaming and just talking about micro penises. That's funny. And then I saw micro penis, and I was like, is it like a band of people coming together and saying, be proud of your micro penis?
More or less. We're
That's what I thought it was. I came in and started asking questions, and then AP used his skills to lure me in and actually answer the question. So yeah, here I am.
I love it. I appreciate it, dude. I didn't know that story. That's amazing. Wait, you might have. You very well might have. I trash short-term memory. But yeah, that's hilarious. I'm looking for a channel with very few viewers talking exclusively about micro penises. That's us. I'm glad YouTube search results was like, I know who you're looking for. I got you.
Know what you really want.
Yeah.
I think I joined. I don't know how many subscribers you have when I joined. I think you were at like 550s. No, you were below 600 because you did a milestone for 666.
Yeah, I was like, it's significantly. It was significantly lower than it is now. We've been growing pretty quick.
What are we
Okay,
at
so
now?
I have something to do.
Absolutely.
So I leave the VC right now.
See
But
ya,
I'll be
Key
back in the
West.
next stream.
Sounds good. Also, we are at 8:57 right now. We are at 8:57, Steven. I am pretty hyped. It is. And the thing that's been interesting is, I see our subscriber number go up every once in a while, but there was a period where we had like some pretty rapid acceleration, and I'm really wanting to get that back. I haven't been able to put in as much time as I'd like to, but I was really hype about it, because every time I'd get on stream, we'd get like 2 or 3 subs, and it was awesome. And now it's slowed down a little bit, but we're still chugging along. I'll check my phone every once in a while, and I'll see one like pop up here and there, and I'm like, hey, I haven't even posted anything today.
Slowly but surely we'll get there.
Oh, for sure. Well, and that's what I'm excited about, banking on that 1,000. We still aren't like that close to the watch time hours either. We have, I think, about half of the watch time hours that we need right now.
How many
but
watch time hours do you need?
It's like
It's like 1,000.
5,000 a year. for like a year span. Yeah, it's quite a bit. So what I figure is once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna start doing. What's up?
You stream count with that?
Yeah, so that's the thing that's great about it. Streams are really, really good for it because everybody that watches the stream, especially if you watch it like the entire time or for a long portion of it, your view counts as like that many watch time hours. So if we have like 10 people watching it and they watch it for 3 hours, it's a lot of views. So it starts getting up. You get like, yeah. Whereas for other videos, it's the same thing for every video. So it's how many people watch the video and then how long they watch it for. So for a lot of our other videos, we may get quite a few viewers, but if they only watch it for like 45 seconds on average, it doesn't help that much. But if we have a stream where like 3 people watch for a really long time, it helps. So I might start doing, like, when we get close, just doing like hella long live streams and seeing how many people we can get. Just have some like crazy purpose for the live stream. See if we can get a whole bunch of people in all of a sudden.
I think, and I know I brought this up, and I know you're a busy man, but I think scheduling the streams, however infrequent, would help.
Oh, for sure. So I mean, I think I could like probably tell people a little bit in advance, like, hey, I'm gonna be doing a stream, or like try and commit to doing a stream a week. I just don't know when during the week, because as soon as I plan to do something, like I'll generally try and plan these streams like a couple days in advance, and even when I do that, there have been multiple attempts just over the last couple weeks where I'll get like ready to stream and then something will happen and I can't do it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like an assignment pops up or something?
Well, so it's more, assignments I'm pretty good about keeping up with. My school, I generally stay on top of. It's more, I mean, that takes a lot of my time out, so I don't have as much time because of that. A lot of it is like, I have 2 jobs where I'm like paid by the university to actively do research, and then I'm like under people though, so I have like assignments I have to do for that, and like I have to research stuff on the internet and like set up like solutions to problems for us and like order parts for us and do different things like that. I'm kind of a jack of all trades in those research groups, but then on my own, I have something called a 499 at the end of my degree, which is a research thesis where most people will actually work under a professor and extend the research that they are doing and will put their name on a paper with that
And
professor.
You told me about this.
Yes.
You're solo.
Yes, so I'm still going to have a professor that'll be my advisor under it, but I have a specific research topic I've been wanting to do for a while, and I've been making progress on it over the last like year and a half. So, and I haven't even written anything about it, just trying to get it like set up to the point where it'll work and like be able to get reasonable data from it has been really hard. So now I'm doing that, and it's starting to work out, and I'm excited about it. So I want to make sure that like by the time in the next year when I have to do my 499, I want it to be ready where I like can write a paper on it and have data and be kind of blowing people away and being like, this was all me. I did all of this. I like came up with the idea myself.
You went raw. You used rubber.
Wait, what's up?
You went in raw. They used rubber.
Exactly.
Bro, that's gonna impress a lot of people.
I hope so. I'm pretty excited about it.
Am I seeing people naming the streets?
Yes, that's something that's cool. I've been recently, like, just in passing by places here a minute ago, finding streets that I didn't even know we had.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like the little city.
I'm impressed. For sure.
And how much to talk about tonight?
One of the things that I was trying to talk about at the beginning of the stream was more or less just how many crazy things are happening in the world and how that kind of affects micronations. Like, there's a whole bunch of protesting and stuff going on around the world for different reasons, but most countries around the world right now, for one reason or another, are having some sort of protest. And I was just talking about, I think it's cool because people's dissatisfaction with their own countries, while really sad and really difficult, is a benefit for micronationalism, because it means that people are looking for other avenues to get their voice heard, and potentially find that in communities of like-minded people.
Yeah, no, that definitely brings up a good point in which, like, yeah, people kind of see micronationalism as an escape. I know that's actually how a lot of countries got their start. I know that was Sealand's thing. I know that was the American Empire's thing. They did it to get away from a country they didn't like, and well, now it turned out really well for them. And I think if people see those examples, they'll definitely be more persuaded to, check out the micronational community. Maybe they didn't search up specifically for micropenises, but they got there one way or another.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, if you're gonna look up micronationalism, if it's your first time, why not find it through micropenises? Like, that's a good, decent reason. Exactly. And it makes for a great story too. I loved it. But yeah, I think one of the interesting things too, I talked about this a little while ago, I'm not sure if you were on the stream at the time, but I want to make a video pretty quickly about why micronations are the way that they are, and like what we hope to accomplish, because I saw a Reddit post the other day on the Micronation subreddit that was talking about how it was essentially somebody being like, hey, what do micronations actually want? Like, can you tell me what your end goal is? And he started it by phrasing like, so I know that none of you are actually gonna like make countries, but like, so that being the goal. And I thought that was kind of an interesting perspective to take, because a lot of things that people thought were either very unlikely or impossible were just sort of matter of time things, and things that like took a lot of willpower to eventually get to a place where you could accomplish them. And I think that's a very similar thing with micronationalism. Like, just because you can't envision today a new country just popping up out of nowhere, that doesn't mean that like enough people creating the doing the footwork, sort of creating the infrastructure to make something like that more possible, can't be established now, and that maybe in 10 or 15 years, if there are a lot of different micronations that are actively economically invested in one another and have large-scale activity internationally, that those nations and those groups may not be in a much better position to do larger things that would make people consider them more and more as viable solutions for legitimate citizenship, and for things that people would consider more state-like, more like countries, comparable to other ones.
Yeah, I know. I know Malaysia has a bunch of people saying, "Can I be a citizen, like legit living on your land?" But I definitely think if people start, I know we call it a community, but honestly, seeing some of the interactions, I think it's more of just I'd like it to be less of a community and more of a collaboration in micronationalism. So I think people do need to like get together a little more.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and I think it's hard because everybody has like their own different ideas about what they want, but I feel like there are things that can make it easier to one, connect with the right people in that community, and to get those connections going, but also things that will help new people who are coming in to be better supported in their ideas. And that's part of the micronational ranking index thing. One of the things I'm excited to do and to talk about is I actually have been making progress with it. So
Okay.
with the questionnaire thing, Essentially, I talked about it on stream, and we helped create it actually on a previous stream, where we ask you to pick between like different population sizes and like how much treasury you have, how much GDP you have, and all these are supposed to be realist, strict standards. Now, not everybody's going to follow that, but the more seriously that you take it, the more accurately it'll reflect your nation and its growth. What I found is actually, I created it through Google Forms, and there are add-ons for Google Forms that allows you to automatically tally points for things. So while Google Forms itself can't do that, I've designed the form that I'll be putting on our Discord and on our website, so that once people fill it out, they will get a result back at the bottom that tells them, that automatically calculates their score. So with that and the addition of memberships on our website, which will essentially just be like free profiles on our website, I'm going to set that up so that people can have their own profiles on the site, and then connecting those profiles with the micronational map we have, and with putting their micronational ranking index score on there, will allow us to create like a really intricate network of people that have their own ranking set up. They know what other people's rankings are. They can go in and find and contact other users of the website directly, and then can even message those people through our foreign dignitary role on our Discord. So that hopefully that kind of makes those connections easier and more frequent for people, so that, you know, finding more realistic alliances and economic trade deal sort of things can be possible. Make it more efficient.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what one of the things I was more excited about trying to roll out and see how people take it. Also, I'm at level 6, Steven. I'm surviving.
Nice, you haven't got. You are on half a heart for like 10 minutes, and it gave me the most anxiety.
I was, 'cause every once in a while I'll just see my health decreasing, and I'll think I'm poisoned or something, and I'll be like, oh no, I'm just starving to death. I better find food. I'm sure there are like, I'm not sure if there are people who are like super big into Minecraft who watch me play Minecraft, but I'm sure there's been like a couple who like click on this channel and then see me dying horribly and get so frustrated that they just have to like slam their laptop closed. They're like, that's it. I can't deal with this man.
So have you actually looked at domains yet? Like, maybe getting your own domain instead of a Wix site?
I have not, but that would actually be a great use of our money. I think you can buy like domains pretty cheaply, and that would actually be a fantastic idea and use of our money. When I originally created the site, we didn't have any Patreon supporters, we didn't have any money coming in, so there was, if I was going to do that, I'd be pulling it out of my own pocket, and it wouldn't be super feasible, but now that's definitely possible. And I just haven't thought about it again because we had created this site the way that it is. But yeah, that's actually a great idea. Do you have any suggestions if we were to go about that on which site we should use, or which domain hosting thing we should go
Yeah,
about?
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, hey.
So,
Because we have a Wix site currently, and I like it, but I don't know like if there are cheaper options or better options out there.
yeah. The thing is, if we get our own domain, we're not going to be handheld. We have to actually, like, do HTML, which isn't hard, but definitely no one I know or
Fair. Do you though? Like, I think there are some sites that if you go through like a hosting service, will still give you your own domain. You just, the way that you access it, not the way that everyone accesses it. Like, you'd have your own domain to send as a link to people, but that you, as like the controller of the website, the person who's editing it, would access your editing for that platform through another site, another service that you
Oh,
would pay
yeah.
like a monthly thing for.
You can access the HTML, but like I'm saying, to build up the website, it's not like Wix where you can click on a design and it pops up. Like
Yeah.
you have to actually type in and inject that.
Yeah. I have had to do a little bit of that for one. I took a very, very small class on it in high school. It wasn't super in depth, but I know a little bit. And then I had to do some of it for just embedding some of the things that are on the site currently, like getting our Micronational map on there. It wasn't that hard, but you did have to go into like the source code for the site to like paste the HTML version of the thing into there. So I'm sure like just I could Google a good bit of things if we needed to do some like large scale updating of things. I'm sure it wouldn't be
Gotcha.
too difficult.
Okay, so does it matter what the dot is? Like .xyz, does it matter?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It'd be cool if it was .gov, but I don't think we can get a .gov.
No, you have to have verification.
Dang.
So I found Empire of Aeternia, literally just that. .xyz. Deal is 99 cents for the first year, and then every year after that, it's $14.99.
Interesting. That wouldn't be bad.
So
We
just something to consider.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's on GoDaddy, by the way.
Interesting. The perviest of online web hosting sites,
The sexiest one.
of course.
Yes.
Yeah. For everybody with parental issues out there, GoDaddy.com. I probably shouldn't be sponsoring the
No,
things
you
that
probably
aren't.
should.
Yeah.
But you do
still,
you, man.
I appreciate it. Maybe they'll give me money in afterward.
Sponsored.
Reverse sponsorship, where I say the thing first and then companies give me money.
You're just like, this guy's saying shit. We might as well help him out.
Yeah. Or a lawsuit, either one.
Or like, either or. I will quite the adventure.
Yes.
Oh, yo, I actually have a question.
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with the channel Yes Theory?
I have heard of it, yes. And I think, didn't you say they'd done somebody said they did a thing on a Micronation recently?
Yeah, Beard and I noticed it. So Yes Theory's got 5.75 million subscribers.
Hey.
They did a video on the monster.
Hey, that's awesome.
And that video's got 1.4 million views.
Goddamn.
So that made me think, more Micronation? Question mark?
Oh, absolutely.
They went really in depth, and at the end of the whole thing, they even said like, we're gonna make our own Micronation, and whoever you guys help us out.
Hey, super, super cool.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I do think it'd be particularly interesting though if like people started doing that more and more. Like if larger YouTube channels are just like people, I guess influencers, quote unquote. If more people like that started getting into micronationalism, that it could potentially be a thing where like micronations that have been around for a long time but that are smaller would just be like immediately overshadowed by like new ones that come in with just like thousands of people. I think it'd be an interesting dynamic.
Damn, I didn't think of that.
I think it would, like, I think it'd be good for the community as a whole because it would make people who come in initially come into it more seriously. But I do think it'd be an interesting scenario.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
But that is super cool. I have always thought about doing more to like reach out to other like larger platforms and try and advertise the Empire of Aeternia, but at the same time, I don't like, I don't know. I haven't wanted to go to like a local news station or anything like that, because I know as of right now, it's like, I don't know, it's not really like that controversial a thing, but it's like an oddity, I suppose. And so I think, while I'm definitely proud of the Empire of Aeternia, I think if I did it for like a local news station where I go to college, I just think I'd get like more questions by the people that I like work with, and that would be interesting. Because as of right now, there hasn't been like a ton of crossover between my like personal life and my stuff in micronationalism. And I know eventually one day I'll like want more of that, but as of right now, while I'm getting my degree, I think it would be potentially, it would make it a little bit more of an uphill battle.
By day, business spirit. By night,
Ta-ta-ta-ta. It's like Batman, but instead of the bat signal, it's just a YouTube channel. It's not even the Empire of Aeternia logo, it's just the YouTube logo. We don't have an actual domain. Go to eternia.wixsite.7otherthings.net.com.gov. Yes, behind the micropenis subreddit. No, it was solid. It was solid. I love it. But no, yeah, I definitely think a domain name is a hosting thing. Domain name is a good idea. .xyz is interesting. Is that like is that something that they do often, or does it?
It's just one of the options. There was a lot of Empire of Aeternia options that came up. That was one of the cheapest ones I could find.
Oh, nice. Okay. That is kind of crazy though. Like, are there other like? Was Empire of Aeternia taken for any form? I would want to see if there's another Empire of Aeternia out there. I'd be like, who's running that? What? I also know it's better to get domain names early, because if hopefully when our nation becomes a larger thing, if we wanted to get specifically like Eternia.com or whatever the equivalent would be, somebody could potentially snatch it from us.
Let me see. Honestly, no one's.
Nice. It's a fairly unique name. It's like a word I made up, so it's like a combination of other words, but it's not like a commonly used word. So.
There's an ebook called Aeternia 1.
For real? Spelled the same way?
Yeah, and
Crazy.
in the little bit you can see, it shows it's schoolnutritionandfitness.com/Empire of Aeternia microwiki.
Wait, so it is Empire of Aeternia?
Says Empire of Aeternia.
Yo, what? Are we a school lunch program?
No, it's because it's a microwiki.
Oh. Wait, is that just us?
But it's on a schoolnutritionandfitness.com.
What?
I'm really tempted to look into it.
Please do. Well, because we have our own micro wiki.
Yes.
It would be interesting if a school lunch program was like, you know what this school needs? This guy's Micronation. Come on, everybody. Eat healthy.
Yeah.
And also, maybe it's because of you, Steven. Maybe they were like, Steven works out. He's a part of the Empire of Aeternia. He's going to be a medical expert. They seem like a good source to get nutrition info from.
No, you shouldn't see what I eat. I do not eat healthy.
Well, you
try-
ran and ate a donut and then thrown up. That seems
No,
healthy to me.
And then threw up.
Oh,
It's
you
that-
didn't. It's the other way around.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, no, there's no Empire of Aeternia
Oh,
other than us.
well, that's good. If there was another one, I was gonna be like, I'm determined to make a video meeting them. I will get a
What
a
did you do the right
stalking.
thing?
Yeah, I'll get a restraining order put against me trying to figure out who it is. Be a real issue.
There is .com.
.com. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wait, so they have it?
They have it, but I don't know how much.
Is it $1 million?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I might cry live on stream. Live on stream, eterniatears.com.
Let's see.
Hey, we have a solid 0 people watching right now.
Really?
Yeah. That's crazy.
They don't get it.
They don't get our vibe. They don't know what we're all about.
Or I think everyone's just busy. You know, it's a school night.
Very true. It's a school night.
No,
There's
it's
corona in the air.
So
But yeah.
EmpireofAeternia.com is let's see. It'd be 42 cents a month for the first year, and then $17.99 per year after that for .com.
I think it's interesting that it's cheaper for the first month than the other one, but then
Well,
more
that's how they do it.
expensive. Yeah, I guess so. They're like, ooh, it's better. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I think that's a thing for later.
Yeah. Here's a question: should we do Empire of Aeternia, the Empire of Aeternia, or should we just do Aeternia?
I looked up Aeternia. Aeternia is much more expensive.
Oh, for real?
Because TERNI apparently is a highly valued keyword.
TERNI?
Yeah, the word for some reason it says on their site is like valued at 2,000.
What?
I don't know, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody wants to just throw in 2,000, we could get it. It's
No,
possible.
please. That's a lot of push-ups.
Please, let's get him in these push-ups. You could break it up over time. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. You,
Where's
You-
the danger, the excitement?
that's true. You would become so fit.
Very fit.
You would become the Hulk.
I would.
That's what we should do. If you end up doing that and we get people on the stream to donate, and you start doing it, we gotta make a video. It's the Eternia workout, and it's
The
just
pain
like
of Steven.
yeah, and it's just like
Saga.
but it's like the like P90X or whatever like infomercials. It's like before I was just a regular old Steven, but then after I joined Eternia and had a whole bunch of people donate, here's me now, and it's just other picture.
See, I would try and do a voiceover, and I think I'd cuss way too much for your audience. I think I already cuss way too much for your audience.
I cuss way too much for my audience, but
You
it's
drop like one cuss word per stream. I drop like 70.
but that's all right. I mean,
Is it?
yes. It's well, 'cause that's the thing. Micronationalism has just, I think because of the fantasy elements that are more predominant in it right now, there's a larger like youth audience, but I think that's not my target necessarily. Like I don't mind that that's what it is right now, but it's also like not what I was going for, if you feel me.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. I think if it did deter people who were younger, I'd be like, that's fine, 'cause you know, that's more or less what I intended anyway. I don't think it would draw in like older people. I don't think like if we started cursing more, then older people would be like, yeah, micronations on that edgy shit. Maybe it would draw in more kids. That would be concerning.
That is the newer generation.
Yeah, they're like, this is what we wanted the whole time. You should have been cursing from the beginning. We would have thought you were cool.
I didn't realize Jar was like a full ass grown man.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, so had you seen his like things before?
Never met him. Never knew him. Just looked at his thing when that one video from KTM came out.
Yeah,
Boom. Beard.
Yep.
Crazy shit.
beard. Hit him with a beard. Yeah. Well, and so that was kind of a weird situation as well, because it was a thing where it was like, he went in the did you like read all the comments and like catch up on all that?
Yeah.
So
I
there
was
were
getting
like,
informed.
yeah, so there were like multiple people that have hit me up about this, and I'm sure everybody's gonna be disappointed that I talk about it when nobody's on the stream.
Then
But
can you see the to get us that watch time?
yeah, but that's fine. We'll say that it's at the end of the stream. So what happened? He made those comments. No, I'm gonna die, Steven. I'm gonna die. I'm at
Don't do
five.
that.
Well, I died. I'll collect my things. So what happened was KTM made the video, and then it was like super vague. So I'm not sure what the big commotion was, but it was just like, hey, there's something. He says something like, there's some things that I can't talk about on the thing or whatever. Some messages that were like classified or whatever, and then was like, but Jar basically saw things in Eternia's live streams that they didn't like, and so they chose not to like contact them, and that was more or less what the video was. And then Darren came into the comments and was like, well, so KTM, you were kicked out for like homophobic stuff, and then KTM transphobic stuff. Excuse me, yes, transphobic stuff. And so then KTM was like something about his religion, and then that was a thing. And then I personally messaged KTM and asked him about it before we like locked down the citizenship part, and he said he wouldn't do things like that. So I'm just kind of trusting that, but I think it'll go over well. That's a tangent though. So the whole thing, they went back and forth, and then it was a thing where like Darren's audience was like significantly against us, or at least a certain portion was. And so we lost like a few subscribers, and then it, like in trying to back KT, like, well, that's I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Jar anymore. That's just kind of it. And then Darren like messaged KTM a whole bunch of stuff about like, well, I get stuff from like, I work in like the media, so I am like a representative of certain companies, and if those companies think that you represent me, they could sue me and potentially sue you, and was kind of like threatening him with that, like, well, I don't know, maybe you could get sued over it, saying like false shit type of thing. And so then KTM brought that to my attention, and I was like, just like drop it, it's nothing, just like leave it alone type of thing. Don't say anything. And so then
no, it ain't worth it.
yeah, and so then Darren messaged me and was talking about that. Well, and wasn't talking about that. He messaged me and was first like, can we have a time to talk? And then I was like, yeah, sure. So I was like, maybe we'll like get somewhere with this. And then KTM messaged me later and was like, I talked to Darren and I resolved it. And so then I was like, oh, this, what?
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, how many people are watching stream right now?
-4.
Really?
Let me check. That'd be crazy. If it's like I actually took people from other streams and made them leave. But I still don't have any viewers on my stream. Let's check it out. Big ol' 2. Ooh, a big ol' 2. So we have some people in on the drama. And I died again.
Yeah.
They were both Minecraft viewers and they left because of my Minecraft deaths.
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you think Microcon 2021 is gonna happen? Or do you think Corona's gonna take that one out too?
I don't think Corona will take it out. I think it might be lamer. I don't know. I don't know. I am at, cause it's a private event. Like I think, it depends on who runs it. But I imagine if there are a whole bunch of people who have signed up and people who have like put money down for it in some sense or another, because I imagine it's like kind of a collaborative effort between a few micronationalists. I'm sure there's one person like hosting it or like one group hosting it, but I imagine there's like a good few people who are supporting it. So if they just were like, that's it, I imagine it would cost people some money, or at very least like cancel a lot of people's big plans for the year.
Yeah.
So I doubt they'll cancel it fully, but I could definitely see it being a lot smaller a thing than would be initially anticipated, or just something that like has a lot less on the agenda because everybody just kind of needs to be careful.
Which is surprising because it's in like what, Vegas?
Yeah, which is a pretty big and spicy area, so.
Wouldn't that be cool?
To have Aeternia and Micronation?
Yeah, no, I think it'd be good to see that.
Agreed. I know as well, that's been where like, we talked about a while back on one of the streams, a guy doing a video on the different countries at Microcon. I think that would be something cool to do, one for our channel, but also a lot of micronations, they go to Microcon, do stuff like that for their channels, but also I think it would be cool to see if there will be other like news outlets or other like extra micronational entities that come specifically to Microcon to see
Interviews that are not completely not even Micronations coming in.
yeah, and to see like what kind of exposure that gives to other micronations. But I've always felt like if I decided I wanted to go to Microcon one day, I'd want to do it like at a point where I felt ready to say some shit. Like a lot of micronations that I've seen about, I don't know how Microcon is 100% because I haven't been, but from all the footage that I've seen of it, from micronations that are in it, as well as like just other YouTube channels, it seems like a lot of it is like people setting up tables more or less and being like, this is what my micronation is, you should come and visit my micronation. Here we have like these different like medals and these different like people in my family or my friends who are like leaders, and this is what we do, you should check out our website, more informational. And then there are like a few speeches from more well-known micronationalists who are like, and I think we should all come together type of thing, or like, and we're all here's what micronationalism is type of thing, which is more or less what my channel is, so I can't like shit on it. Yeah,
You want to be impactful.
for sure, but I want to go in like hard. I would want to be like, I have like money ready to go, like I have like stuff.
Be the stopper.
Yes, come in, kick the door in, everybody's like, it was open already, and I'm like, I don't care. Rolling in with a posse. We gotta do it, Steven. We gotta wear sunglasses inside like douchebags.
Do like Mr. President thing where like you're talking into your earpiece.
Yes. Just in the middle of a speech, you're just like, wait, hold on, what's that? Wait, what? Oh, okay. And it's like, he doesn't have anything. I don't know what he's doing.
Literally just I don't think those are even real sunglasses. I think he just found those on the street. There's like one of the lenses missing.
Is he homeless? Just like tattered clothes.
He's just
Looking
wearing
super
shorts
disheveled.
with his suit.
Yeah. Did he bring the turkey leg and there's just like a reserved sign on a seat with like a half-eaten turkey leg on it?
Was that him? That's probably him.
It's probably him. Oh man. Great representation for the country for sure.
I'd do that.
Oh yeah. We gotta show up in style.
If that doesn't attract the reporter's attention, I don't know what fucking will.
Right. You lie. I feel like that'd be amazing. Just lie to a whole bunch of reporters and be like, there were like government leaders from all around the world meeting for like a top secret meeting in this hotel in Las Vegas. It's like a super like shady like world conspiracy thing. Y'all should check it out. Everybody shows up and it's just like, hey, it's Microcon.
Hey, it's Microcon. We're not crazy.
We're not crazy. Microcon. Have a flyer.
Yeah, it's posted around Vegas.
For sure.
Come see Microcon.
I feel like they already do that, but I don't know. I feel like if I were to host Microcon, I'd have there be like one big ass event that's like kind of related to Microcon, but would also just be something that a lot of people would be interested in anyway.
You know what'd be the hard flex?
What?
One moment, sorry. Sorry, I'll be back.
Yeah, you're good. Steven had the hard flex as a dip out. Steven had the hardest flex. And right now we're just grooving along. We're just grooving along in the Minecraft, trying to run around and survive. We have one viewer. Thank you very much for hitting us up, talking to us. Prime Minister Andrew Carter said, well, first off, FLDTV said, yes, can Aeternia be ban pineapple on pizza? We can't, because I eat pineapple on pizza. I'd just be, like, screwed with my own food. It would suck. Prime Minister Andrew Carter said, I'm going to start my own micronation on my own islands in the Philippines islands. Right now, Your Majesty. Now you know, Your Majesty. Well, that's very cool, Andrew Carter. Do you live in the Philippines, or are you just interested in the Philippines for some reason? Like, hit me up. Prime Minister Andrew Carter said, I am from Australia. Right now, you know, and now you know, Your Majesty. Interesting. So you're from Australia, but you want to start a micronation in the Philippines. Are there, like, laws where you can still buy land in the Philippines if you're from Australia? Do you know about, like, international land purchases? If you're not planning to purchase land, are you just gonna, like, show up in the Philippines and be like, here you go? Are you trying to, like, take over the Philippines? I don't think that would work out that well. But it might be an interesting scenario to look at. Lot of questions. Lot of questions about Andrew's plans here, because I don't know how in depth you can go with a micronation in the Philippines if you don't already have some like pre-established connections to the Philippines. Maybe he does. Maybe he's super into the Philippines and we just don't know his level. But I'm gonna go ahead and beat up this pig.
You were ranting again, weren't you?
I was. I'm always ranting. I was ranting about you for a second because you dipped, and then I was like, Steven, because you dipped right on like you said something like this is gonna be like the game changer or whatever, and then you left, and I was like, the game changer is he's gone.
Oh, sorry. The
No, you're
biggest
good.
flex that you could do, host a microcon in like a building or an area that's actually on your
I'm back.
that's on your land.
Hey, that would be a big flex.
That'd be a first. for
Yeah.
microcon.
Big flex.
I think people would be like, I don't want people knowing where I live type of thing. But maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you, because I haven't been to Microcon, so I don't know. First off, let me shout out whoever else is in the thing with us. Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
You know damn well you can't pronounce their name.
How do I pronounce your name?
02.
Z-
02.
Zis?
I'll type it out in chat.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't wanna mispronounce names out here. Gotta be respectful. But yeah. So,
Yeah.
let me
Cool.
Or
Discord
just 02 in English.
Zertu.
Angry.
Nice. Okay. Welcome 02.
Hello. Welcome.
Um.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are
So
we still on politics?
Kinda, sorta. We're on Microcon right now. I don't know if that's something you're interested in. We talked a minute ago about like the whole Darren for super president drama thing, and then we kind of
Yeah.
moved on. Oh, I'm sorry.
Um, is the Micro Olympics happened again?
I.
Because
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, cool.
I don't know about that because it happened in like the beginning of the 2000s, but didn't happen for like most of 2010s. So I don't know if it's happened again.
I've heard of it. I've never actually seen any like. Was it like an in-person thing or was it over the
Yeah, it was an
internet?
in-person thing. Well, some of the games, it was started in like 2000 because Molossia started it. I believe 3 of the games were in person and 3 of the games were like on the internet.
That's cool. I
But
think we should bring it back.
yeah, it was hosted for till like 2008, 2010-ish. Then they just stopped doing it for a while. I don't know why.
That's why I really think the Eternian Records thing should be more hype. We could make like a Micronational Records thing for a larger scope, but more or less, if we just had like users on our website and on our Discord and stuff submit their own records for things, you could have your nation brag that they're the best at a thing, and then people could compete on it, and it'd be like a constantly changing like leaderboard. I think it'd be
That
really,
that
really
that
cool.
would be really cool, actually.
Yeah. I want to set it up on the website. I want to try and bring it back. I tried to do that as one of my first videos on this YouTube channel ever, but we didn't really have enough subscribers or a Discord, so there wasn't anybody to do it with me. But now I think it could be more hype.
Yeah, I think it could as well.
Awesome. We will try and get it started.
Yeah.
Um, and we were also talking about Microcon and saying that it would be interesting if somebody hosted Microcon on their own nation's land. And I was saying I haven't been to Microcon, so I haven't looked at anybody's pamphlets, but I imagine they don't give like their home address. But it'd be interesting if they did. Like that's the way that you find out where micronationalists actually are, is you just like go to Microcon and they're like, here's my home phone number. Here you go.
Sorry, I'm looking up something about Microcon because I've never been to one either. I'm planning on going to one
Nice.
in the near future, but
I was talking to Steven. We gotta all show up as a posse, cause I haven't been to one either, and I've always made myself the promise that if I show up, I want to show up in style, and I want to have like some cool stuff to say. I want to blow everybody away. So if we do it, we all gotta show up as one big group and shock everybody.
the
Bring it.
next Microcon on here is in 2021. It'll be held in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it'll be co-hosted by the governments of West Arctica and a name I cannot pronounce. Shiloh, whatever. I don't know.
Interesting.
Silo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was it, Steven?
Shallow.
Shiloh.
Shiloh.
Interesting.
Do you even have a big enough plot of land, or like rent out a place big enough for a Microcon if you do plan on hosting one in the near future?
Not yet.
As of right now, no, we don't. But we are starting to plan for land. We're actually, once we hit our
Yeah, we
1,000
talked about
subscribers.
that in last stream.
Yeah,
Yeah, you talked about
absolutely.
that on last stream. Like you were looking at land once we hit the 1,000 subscribers. You would monetize your videos, and that would help go to it. But don't
Absolutely.
you need a certain amount of watch hours to get
Yes.
that as well?
That's also what we were talking about. So we are like 80 something percent, 85% toward our subscriber numbers that we need. But we are a little over halfway toward our watch time hours. It's like 5,000 watch time hours over the course of a year. And we have like
Oh, over
25.
1 year?
Yes, so after every 12 months it resets. You have to have it. Well, I don't think it resets. Like it doesn't show your watch time hours as 0, but you just have to have 5,000 within a span of a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I should go. Well, look that up now. I don't know why. Just check.
Yeah.
And then you're good, or do you have to like be consistent about it?
So once you get that, and then you apply for monetization, and then as long as they approve your monetization, I think you could drop down to like whatever watch time hours, and it still counts. I just think they think if you have 5,000 watch time hours, that your channel probably isn't then gonna drop like super low.
It's 4,000 hours.
Oh, it's 4,000? Oh, that's better than I
Yeah.
thought. Okay.
Yeah.
I can actually look up while we're talking what our channel is, like how close it is. Ooh, KTM's hitting us up in the comments. Radian5 said, hi, how are you? We're good, how are you? KTM said, hey, I finished my essays, I'm back. Gotta get some sleep as I'm currently brain dead. Good night. Oh, okay, good night, KTM. Also, before I leave for Microcon, you should make your best speech and not hold anything back. I got you. We gotta all show up as a posse. I'll give a crazy big speech. We gotta come ready with the money to throw in everybody's face. It'll be great.
It'll be amazing.
And yeah, I would love to host Microcon if we had our land. I'd be super stingy about Microcon though. I wouldn't do it in like a Las Vegas hotel. I'd do it on our land, and it'd be probably not that hype an event, but still fairly hype. I think I'd put more into like events during Microcon than like the design of it. I think I'd have it like outside, but I'd
Yeah.
want to do like potentially have like music and like a whole bunch of cool stuff. So oh no, I'm actively dying.
Oh no. But like
Minecraft,
Microcon's from what I saw from the videos, because I watched like a 30-minute thing like when I was doing research about Micronations, it's kind of basically like VidCon with panels. I
Interesting.
don't know. Yeah, I can send you the link if you want me to.
Oh, for sure. Is that just for the like for the Microcon website?
I found it on YouTube actually.
Oh,
One
nice.
second. It was
And they like give a rundown of what it is.
yeah, they were at Microcon. One second. I'm gonna
Very crazy.
copy this to the video. It's just a video about Microcon. It's like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So AP, just a random question. Have you
Yes,
ever
sir.
considered upgrading your uniform?
I
Maybe bring it up.
I have. What would you consider my biggest? Yeah. So we're at 857 subscribers. We are at 1815 public watch time hours. So as of right now, we're a little bit under halfway. But we're getting close. We're almost to 2,000 watch time hours.
Ooh, happy.
Yes. So like I told Steven, once we get close to our 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna start going hard on these streams so that we can get our watch time hours. I think if I just started going hard on the streams anyway, we would get both really quickly. But it's all about the long game.
But you're in school, so
Yes, it's all about the long game so that I can have money to continue this and make it better. Cause scientists make a decent amount of money, so if I'm playing my cards right, I could invest a good bit into this.
yeah, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
That is, if it's what you really want to do, like continue for a couple years.
Being a scientist or being a micronationalist?
Micronationalist.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I plan on doing this for the rest of my life. Like, this is something I plan to pass down to my kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not necessarily like running the country, passing down to my kids. I want that to go to like the best person for the job, but I would want like land and like money for my kids and like for them to be citizens of that nation. I'm legitimately trying to make something that's like a better country to live in for my family.
Yeah.
I think a big problem in the micronational community is micronations, they're like shooting stars. They come and go. It's hard to sit down and devote any sort of time, much less financial resources, to a single micronation. So I think that's why a lot of people are very hesitant with donating.
Agreed. And that's completely understandable. It's, well, from both sides. So, one, it sucks because people feel like this community can't do as much because, you're right, people feel like, oh, well, there's all these micronations that come and go, and so nobody's ever going to really, like, establish a country or really make that much progress. The best you could hope for is, like, a small commune or whatever. But I think for those longer-term nations, it can really become something more interesting. As well, I think it's hard for micronationalists. I totally get the understanding that, like, hey, if you feel like you're not making progress at this and you just don't have the willpower to keep going with it, if it doesn't pay off for, like, your entire life, it's perfectly fine to a lot of people to just stop investing in it. For me, I think there's other reasons besides, like, what I'll gain back for me investing in it. I see it as a more long-term thing, but I definitely understand why people would be like, it's just not worth it.
Alright. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. But yeah, I think, oh, I'm sorry.
Hmm?
Oh, I thought you were saying something.
No, I wouldn't say nothing.
Got you. I was just gonna say, I think what my plans for Eternia are, regardless of how quickly we grow or what we end up doing, I want, hopefully, I mean, I of course have, like, goals where I'd be like, in a few years, this is kind of where I'd like us to be, but no matter what size we are, whenever I feel like I can't keep actively carrying the torch for Eternia, I still want to retire as an Eternian. Like, I still want to get to a point where even if I am not fit to, like, serve anymore as Eternia's emperor, I still want to, like, live as a citizen in Eternia. I still want to, like, have my family, like, be raised and grow as Eternians, and to have that mean something in a larger sense. For me right now, like I said, it's kind of an issue for me to say, well, I'm starting my own country as somebody who is also working in, like, a scientific field, and to interconnect those pieces of my life is kind of a challenge right now. But I'd like to see a future where my kids are, like, really proud of that, and that it's a really positive thing, and that it's not as potentially as strange as it might seem at the moment. And I also just want my family to be in a position where they're supported by a larger community, where they feel like if something happens, no matter what sort of turmoil is brought about in our lives, that we always have a larger group of people to rely on, and that group of people can rely on us as well.
That's respectful. I
Yeah,
can appreciate that.
for sure. Thank you. 'Cause I mean, like, one of the biggest things that sucks for me right now is I'm having to borrow, like, every cent that I do for my schooling, and so especially right now it's become interesting because my loans they're like, so there's, if you can, like, make really good grades and get solid scholarships to places, I recommend you do it because college is expensive. But also, one of the things they don't tell you about in the United States, or at least it's not as well known unless you do your research, so there are different types of loans that you can get. There's subsidized and unsubsidized, and then there are grants. Grants are things that the government will give you for free. For example, there's a Pell Grant that you can get, but it's only a couple $1,000s if you apply for it, if your family's funding situation is such that you can get that. The Pell Grant is a couple $1,000s and it helps you, but then you have to rely on loans from the government and or from private industries. Subsidized loans are loans that are held at a very small interest rate, and they are loans that are supported by the federal government, so that even if you can't support yourself through college just with the Pell Grant, that you could also have additional funding through loans that you'll still have to pay back with interest, but that will be at a significantly lower interest rate than what the market would charge you. And then there are unsubsidized loans, which are the opposite. They are ones that you get through private loan companies that cost quite a high interest rate, some 7 or 8%. And when you're borrowing thousands of dollars, that adds up really quickly. So unfortunately, there is a cap for how much you can borrow as a student going through your undergraduate for subsidized loans. And if you hit that cap, then you cannot borrow any more subsidized loans. You have to borrow all private loans. And that's where I've hit. I had hit my threshold actually this semester. So I am now on like all private loans, which are much higher in interest rate. And so one, I'm trying to finish my degree quicker. But two, that puts a lot of strain on what I'm going to be able to pay back when I get out of college. So I want to develop a system where the community that I support and that I help in the future, kids won't have to rely on anything like that if it is still something that they would have to in a macronational setting, where kids who grow up in Aeternia know that all of their college will be paid for no matter what they want to do, and that similar funding would be there for other enterprises if college funding isn't an issue for people anymore in the future.
Big goals, big goals.
For sure, but it's not like unreasonable, I don't think.
Wait, sorry, what's not unreasonable?
Being able to pay for like, not like, I mean, even depending on the size of the nation, to pay for like everyone's college. I think if you have like a small group of people, it's hard, but it's also not that many people's kids that be going to college the smaller the group is. But at the same time, on the inverse, if you have a very large country, I think it's even easier because, yeah, you do have then a lot of people that you have to pay for college for, but you also have a very large economy if you have that many people in it. So I think it's something that's very reasonable. Someone's making the best noises. Let's check that out.
Flying a drone.
Maybe. That'd be interesting. Live drone strikes on stream. Hey guys, welcome to aeternia.wixsite.dronestrike.com .xyz.
Drone strike.
That's the new Nerf gun.
My dad came into my room and just flew a drone. So you guys, it was a drone.
It was a drone. Hey, you were right, Steve.
Big brain.
Biggest brain.
Biggest brain.
Do you think the Nerf drone strike could be a thing?
The Nerf drone strike? What?
Like, if Nerf, like, created a new gun, you know how they always come out with, like, interesting names for the Nerf guns? It'd be interesting if there was, like...
Trash.
Yeah, they are trash, but it'd be interesting if they came out with, like, the Nerf drone strike as a name for one of their new guns. Or maybe it's just, like, a drone that shoots Nerf pellets. I could see it.
It'll be pretty crappy drone.
Yeah.
$5 drone selling it for $50.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I could see it.
I can see it. I just want to talk to you about micronations. Whoa.
Yes, sir.
What? So you have your own currency, correct?
Yes, we do. We have the Imperial
Note.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I saw it on your wiki. What is that?
I'm also trying to figure that out. Let me see who that is.
It's quality control.
Quality? What are you doing there, Steven? You're not being the highest quality. Oh, it's me. It's like me talking and then I think reverb. I don't know that it's me actually doing it. I think it's Steven's, but it may be the audio from his thing, like, giving feedback.
might be me. Wait. Uh. No, it's not me.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
I'll like
But,
monitor it. What's up?
have you watched Free Thoughts and Ideas? And
I
his series about making a micronation?
I have not.
It was a 14-part. His micronation fell apart, but it was like 14 parts, and he was part of a group that all used the same currency. It's like the Unum or Unum. In the future, would you want like that to happen with like your allies or like nations you're close with all have the same currency?
Oh, absolutely. Like if we could establish the so I don't think I would change our currency to do that, but I would support other micronations adopting our currency. One, because it makes our micronation stronger. If our currency becomes a standard for micronationalism, or at least for a subsection of micronationalism, that means that our currency becomes stronger because it means that people can go to other nations and use our currency. So there's a larger market appeal for having our currency. And also, it means that those micronations who would be joining us initially would have more stability in their economy because they would be, instead of trying to start their own currency that doesn't have a lot of value in and of itself, it's initially given a high value because they're joining a larger currency market.
Yeah, I see that. What's the conversion rate with the imperial note to dollar, US dollar?
It's 1-to-1.
1-to-1? Ah.
Yes. So one US dollar can be converted to a single imperial note. The thing that's interesting, actually, I would love to install our imperial notes as a means of paying for things on our Etsy shop that we're starting, our imperial market. And also, I would love to do it for things like donations, but I don't know how I would do that. You'd have to probably turn it into like a cryptocurrency, but then that'd be kind of a weird system, and you'd have to have like a setup for that.
That would be pretty weird.
Yeah.
Okay, I had another question. Dang it. I'm trying to remember it. Wait, give me a sec.
Yeah.
It was about currency as well.
Oh, I have a question for you.
Me?
Yes.
Yes. What is your question?
So, Zero2, do you believe that people would potentially purchase like things that aren't specifically based around micronationalism from a micronationalist like shop? Because I've been wanting to start our Imperial Market, our Etsy shop, for a long time, and the biggest difficulty that I've had is I wanted to start it based around things that would appeal to micronationalists. I think that'd be the best way to get it off the ground really quickly and make it successful. But as of right now, I've had difficulty in manufacturing those things like I wanted to. I haven't been able to make the the metal melter that I was planning to. So in lieu of that, while we're waiting for those upgrades to be made, I would love to still start the shop with things that I have with me currently, so that I didn't have to make things, but I could sell them directly. And a big thing that I personally am interested in and have a lot of are electronic components. And I would be curious if people would buy some of those things. They range from little small electronic components all the way up to things like big motors, customized high voltage supplies, microwave emitters, things like that. Lasers.
I think people would probably still buy that. It doesn't really have to deal with market nationalism, because it's just where you sell it. It doesn't really have to be all about micronations, micronationalism. You can just say like a Aeternian toaster, and people will probably still identify it. So you can just do something like that. But yeah, I think it will still sell.
Fair enough. I appreciate it. Yeah, because I've always, I've kind of debated that here recently with myself to just see if I could put some things on the shop to get it kind of going and see if we could add additional revenue toward our land purchase with that. But I was debating it. Yeah, I definitely think I'll try it out and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll try it.
But yeah, so that's Free Thoughts and Ideas that you said you recommend their
Yeah.
series on micronationalism.
Yeah, they have like 14 episodes.
Damn.
It was the Republic of the Golden Coast. It has fallen apart. Their last video was like 2019, and he made an update saying that he moved away, and that he could not continue the micronation.
Oh,
But he was like, he got really into it. He established his own bank, made his own money.
hey, that's
He
super.
has big. Yeah. Oh,
He had
I
big
remember the
plans?
question.
Yes.
Do you
Ooh, hold up, that was weird.
That was a loud spike. Yeah. Do you actually have the Imperial note printed out?
Yes, we do. I actually. Are you watching the stream currently?
No, I am not. But I know that there is a delay.
Yes. Well, so what I was gonna say is, I have some in my room. I can go and grab it and show it to you. If you are watching the stream.
I just pulled it up right now.
Okay.
So
give
yeah,
me
I'm watching it now.
1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm watching the stream. I don't know if you can hear it.
Hey, 02?
Yeah.
Hey, alright, so here it is. I know there's a delay, and so you're gonna be like, I can't see it right now, but I have it, and whenever it does show up, you'll be able to see it. I'm gonna try and get it to like focus in the camera a little bit.
Right. Do you have like a $1 bill, the $5, like a US kind of style?
As of right now, we just have the one note because we haven't really established it as a currency yet. I mean, it's kind of just a novelty for us. I am probably that'll be one thing that I can sell on the website, which would probably be a cool thing to do. I could sell the imperial notes.
Ooh, that is actually not a bad idea.
Because I already have them printed. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
10.
13, 14.
I'm looking at your stream, and Terry Hopper commented something like selling authentic 80s and 90s arcade games. Me and my dad are actually doing that. We are building our own arcade cabinets and then buying the actual games itself and selling them.
Hey, very, very cool. So you're gonna sell the large arcade machines, or you're
Yeah, we make the. Oh, I wait. You're pulling out on your stream right now. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, and I
No,
have
it's like-
32 notes right now.
It's like a deck of cards.
It is, yeah. They're pretty tiny. What's going on, quality control? Steven, how you doing?
Always been here.
Of course. Always loving you, man. Always appreciating you. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check those comments. I'm trying to get back to the video. So
Wait.
everybody who's commenting, bear with me.
Yeah.
And here we go, I'm pulling it up.
What up?
Alright, and I'm in it. So, wait. Oh no. Okay. YouTube, why you do this?
I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Can I ask the question?
Absolutely. Hit me up with every question, Steven.
What the fuck even is steampunk?
I will tell you what a steampunk might be, and then you could infer yourself what you believe your own heart and desires of steampunk to occur.
Okay.
So, so, steampunk. Steampunk, isn't it like just a style of like, uh, of like dress that is based around both old stuff and like sci-fi stuff? It's based around like Industrial Revolution
The
era
video.
sci-fi.
So
Wait,
everybody
oh no,
who's
now I'm
commenting, bear
double
with me.
playing the video. Give it a second so I can pause it. There we go. Now let me read the comments. Okay. Terry Hopper said, "Hi Emperor and everyone. To answer that question on electronics, I've been getting back into hobby of restoring authentic vintage 80s, 90s, 2000s arcade games. There's a cottage industry for it. Awesome. We should definitely check it out. I will definitely check it out. But yes, so steampunk, like steam-based, Industrial Revolution-based, sci-fi-esque genre of like dress and like cosplay sort of stuff, but also like media, so like movies, games, things like that. Let me ask you a question about Minecraft, Steven.
Okay.
So if I beat a skeleton with a chicken, does it come back to life? Can I put meat on those bones?
You know what? No, that's a bad question. No,
Oh.
you can't do.
Sorry.
But there, just no, I'm kidding. There is a way that you can revive zombies.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's you hit him with a potion of weakness. You give him a golden apple. It's a golden apple or an enchanted golden apple. I can't remember. And then you wait, and then they turn into a villager, and they give you really good traits because you saved them.
Oh, that's cool. So they become like one of the trade guys who walk around with like the donkey?
No, they come from a villager, like a blacksmith or a fletcher, something like that.
Oh, that's cool. I don't have any villagers right now. We just have zombies and spiders. So I might need to get on that.
Mayhap.
No probs. The but yeah, Steven, were you here for the whole talk about like trying to put stuff on the website, on the Etsy to like start selling?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
So we were talking about like, I've been wanting to set up the Imperial Market thing for a while, but I haven't been sure about what I want to do. One thing I am knowing that I could sell, which just occurred to me, but I've been having these for a long time and I don't know why I didn't start selling them, are the Imperial Notes. They have a 1-to-1 conversion rate and they're cheaper for me to make than to actually than to sell, so I could make a little bit of money off of that, and it would help to stimulate our economy. Welcome back. The other thing that I was thinking about doing, because I haven't been able to do metal melting in a second, so I can't make the things that I wanted to, like coins and metals and other things that would be toward micronationalism. I do have a ton of electronics components just based on my own hobbies. Some of that being small stuff, simple items, and some being pretty interesting things like lasers, microwave emitters, high voltage stuff, transformers, motors, all sorts of things. So I was curious to see if that would be something that people might buy. And I think I've come to the decision with Zero Two that I'll put them out there and see what's going on. See if it'll make us a little extra cash toward the land purchase.
I have something to say about it now, but you said you wanted like more micronationalist. Just put your name in front of it, like instead of Transformer, Aeternian Transformer.
Yeah. Fair enough. I can see
Fair
that.
enough.
Yeah.
Because then it is kind of micronationalist, because it is Aeternian. See. But can I just say something right now? Because I don't have anyone really talk to at my house about this. It's more political.
Please do.
Alright. So, one of the reasons why Donald Trump interfered in the Syrian civil war was because the Syrian president was gassing his own citizens. But when the Black Lives Matter movement was happening, he used gas on his own citizens.
Very sure.
It's very...
And he wanted to stand in front of a church and take pictures with a Bible.
Yeah. It was just...
He also...
And then like a month before the Black Lives Matter protest, he was going to crack down on gun laws, and a bunch of predominantly white Americans went in front of the White House with guns and just stood there, and he didn't do anything to them.
Right. But he attacked a whole bunch of people who were protesting. Agreed.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
He does not know how to handle it.
Agreed. Another thing that's interesting, he just very regularly is creepy and talks about the attractiveness of his daughter in a really weird way. Just a regular thing he does every once in a while.
I did not know he did that as,
Yeah, if you look up, just look up like compilations of Trump saying his daughter's attractive. It's really weird.
Alright. Oh wow.
Yeah. It's just him making like weird like remarks about his daughter's looks all the time. It's weird. I never know how to handle it when it comes up. And I imagine it's like weird for the people who are interviewing him and stuff.
Yeah, that would be weird. It's like, oh, my daughter's so beautiful. Oh, okay. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, so anyway, what did that have to do with Al-Qaeda? And he's like, I just wanted to bring it up. I just felt like, people needed to know.
Yeah. Well, on the topic of the Syrian civil war, what are your opinions on it?
I don't know enough about the Syrian civil war to have a detailed opinion. I know Bashar al-Assad has been someone who the majority of Syrians have wanted out of office for a long time and has refused to budge on. I know there are people who support him out of fear and out of monetary incentive, but I know that very much like other dictators in the region, there will only be so much that he can do against the will of his own people that will prevent him from the inevitable, which will be eventually just a coup by his own people directly or by the military trying to save face in front of their people.
That's already happening. It's like a 4-way civil war, a 5-way civil war.
Wow, 5?
Yeah, Syria itself, ISIS, rebels, the Kurds, and I believe one other.
The Kurds are a really interesting group that I would like to learn more about, because I know for a while they were considered U.S. allies because they helped against fighting
ISIS.
Yes, thank you. Fighting ISIS. And then the Trump administration, as well as some other people, had said that they were somehow doing stuff against American interests, so we kind of like turned our backs on them. But I don't know like if there was much of a good reason for that. But the reason that I'm interested in learning more about them is because they're trying to start their own state. They're just like, we just want to be recognized as our own people. They have kind of a nation in the sense that they self-identify and that they're small local communities. But I think it's cool that they're trying to form a larger coalition. I'm just not sure of their motives, so I can't say as of yet whether I would like support them or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You don't know enough about them to support them. No. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna eat some deviled eggs.
Sounds good. Enjoy those deviled eggs.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Talk to you guys in a
cast
bit.
Satan out of them. It'll be amazing. See ya.
Deviled eggs.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yep, he needs to remove the demon from those eggs. Anytime someone offers me devil eggs, I throw holy water in their face, and they get mad at me, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't fuck with deviled eggs.
I really don't either. They have like a creaminess that's weird. Like the inside,
Yeah.
because you like take the yolk and then you like do stuff to it, don't you? You like make it into like a, kind of like a whole different thing.
Yeah, no, I don't vibe with it.
Yeah. Do they use like vinegar in deviled eggs?
Yeah, they pickle them.
Yeah, yep. Nasty. I also don't like that mayonnaise isn't refrigerated when it's at the store. You know what I mean? Like
What?
it has eggs in it. You buy mayonnaise like straight off the counter, but it has eggs in it. So there's warm eggs.
You.
Yep. And it's like vacuum sealed, so it doesn't go bad, but it's still just gross to think about. Like you wouldn't. Well, I guess they do that in other. Like I've been in gas stations before where they do have just like jars of pickled eggs and stuff, and I think that's gross too.
Yeah, no, that's not a vibe.
It's not a vibe. They're quail
Not a vibe.
eggs, and they're little tiny, and I think they look adorable, but I don't know about eating them. I would make a baby omelet though with a quail egg. Maybe that's what we can do. Oh, also, I'm still excited to see your panini video.
Oh yeah.
Did you get your press in?
What?
Did you get your press in?
I did. It's finally in. I just gotta go out and get the bread.
Hey, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this panini video.
It'll be so good.
I'm not gonna say it, but I want to say it so bad.
Just do it, man.
No, I can't now. Now I've hyped it too much. I'll say it at an unexpected point in the stream, so that it's still fresh in everyone's minds.
We'll just be talking randomly.
Yeah, and then somebody will just bring up fresh Nini, and then that'll be it.
That's it? Fresh Nini?
Yeah, that was the thing. That was the thing I wanted to say.
I forgot about Fresh Nini.
Exactly, and that's why I was like, I know he wanted me to stop saying it, but I wanted to say it because I forgot
It's
about
not that I don't want you to say it. It's that I don't understand the appeal.
There's not a ton of appeal other than it's something that isn't itself creepy. Like there's nothing wrong with saying it, but it sounds like there should be.
What's creepy?
Saying fresh
Fresh
Nini
Nini?
Fresh Nini?
to
What?
mean paninis, but
Honey. Oh, I heard fresh Nini.
no, that's what we said. We said fresh
Yeah.
Nini as a slang for paninis, but it sounds weird.
Yeah, it does sound weird.
Yeah, it sounds like it should be something inappropriate, though it's not technically inappropriate. So it just, last stream I was saying it a whole bunch and it became cringy, so I stopped saying
It
it.
became green. Yeah.
Yeah, so I brought it back, and now we're
You
dealing
brought
with
it back. You brought it back from the dead.
that. I did. That is a fantastic question. Also, I gotta say, I really appreciate you guys hanging out and talking with me on stream. You guys have been
Yeah, man.
solid hanging out.
It's actually really fun.
Oh,
talking
for
to you
sure.
on stream.
Oh yeah, we have 3 viewers. Hey, people coming back. So Terry Hopper said, "What is your channel? I have the same goal as Emperor in building subscribers to my channel. I have land and I'm filming progress in fixing it up." So it seems like you know exactly what our channel is because you kind of just described it. We are a micronational YouTube channel. We are trying to grow a nation. And we're trying to do that through teaching other people about micronationalism on YouTube, as well as spreading awareness of our own nation, and eventually trying to purchase land, bringing you guys on the journey with us. Terry Hopper said, electronics parts sell well on eBay. At the very least, with the spare electronic parts, there's tons of videos on how to properly scrap them, get the gold/copper/other elements, and melt them down. Absolutely. That is very good. I want to eventually get more into metal melting once I can upgrade to an induction heater, whereas I have been using a charcoal forge, which hasn't been able to get up to the temperatures stably that I'd like to. So I want to upgrade to an induction forge, and then I'll do more metal melting. But until then, scrap electronics would be a good way to initially start to make a little bit of money. Yeah. So thank you for your questions, Terry Hooper. Also, that's a great question. I said Hopper initially, and then it has 2 O's, so I changed it to Hooper. I hope I'm saying it correctly, but everybody
in the Discord, it's 1 2 P's.
Oh, weird. So maybe on YouTube he's Hooper, and on Discord he's Hopper.
For both of them, I think, actually. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's 1-0 for both.
Oh, it is? Oh, then I've just been saying it wrong. Terry Hopper. My apologies, Terry Hopper. I gotta hop my way into correct pronunciation.
It was fake funny.
I appreciate it. I like my dad jokes. I appreciate it.
Already in college and making the dad jokes.
Oh, you know it. That's the thing I'm afraid about, is that I'm gonna make too many dad jokes, and one day I'm gonna get a girl pregnant. That's the way that it goes. You make too many dad jokes, and it just happens.
It just happens.
Yeah.
Just randomly.
People think that you have a kid and then you make dad jokes, but it's actually that making dad jokes becomes a prophecy.
It becomes a prophecy. It becomes the prophecy of the chosen one.
You seal your fate to have a kid once you start making dad jokes. So don't start too young. Save your innocence.
I've already started making dad jokes.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh no.
You'll ruin your life.
Yeah, I bet. Like, last night, I literally thought there was a serial killer after me.
Oh,
It was really dumb though.
Oh, good.
I was throwing the ball for my dog, and it got really dark super fast. And then I just randomly heard chains. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna die.
It's the chain strangler.
Yeah, I just randomly heard chains, and then every time I was walking, I hear someone behind me. So I started freaking out, and immediately called my mom.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
Immediately.
That
Just
should
immediately.
be. Yeah, that's probably the smart move. You never know who's rattling chains in the distance.
Yeah, and now it's become a family joke of me just going, the chains, they're after me, and just running off.
The chains.
They're after me.
Goodness. Well, I certainly hope you never have to encounter the chains. That sounds scary. I feel like if I just started hearing chains, I'd get really scared.
Yeah. Well, and then every time I started walking, I hear someone following me, so I really thought there was someone else out there with me.
It would be funny if you found out that, like, somehow you'd gotten, like, some jangly thing, like keys or like a chain or something, like accidentally caught on your pants, and so you'd like take a step and you hear like jingle jingle jingle, and you're like no, so then you start running and it's like jingle 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 jingle.
Oh, that would be terrifying.
He's coming for me.
Just brings it on. Ah! The chains, they're after me.
Like running in circles.
Yeah.
They're always one step behind you. Goodness.
Yeah, but while I was freaking out, my dog was just looking at me like, you want to throw the ball?
He's like, I'll defend us, don't worry. This is my
I'll
yard.
My yard.
That's cool.
That's cool, yeah.
You have a dedicated canine.
I have 2 dogs, actually.
Hey, there you go. 2 puppers, as the kids call them.
two
Yeah.
one of the most effed up thing ever.
Sure.
One of my dogs is a rescue. We rescued her,
Mhm.
and she's scared of a lot of things because a lot of things people do to her. So she's scared of most things. And first day we got home, I pulled out a fork, and she immediately winced. She was terrified of it,
Aw.
and I'm pretty sure someone attacked her with a fork.
Oh no. Or maybe just like a metal object in
Yeah, a
general.
metal object in general. That's like the most.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just.
Aw.
Made me feel bad.
Very similar. I have a cat named Uno, and she takes care of my dad for me. She's super cool. But she, yeah, my dad's like 76, and I'm not able to be there with him because I'm at school, and so they're like companions, and so, yeah, and he used to hate cats too, which is crazy. And so I my first semester that I was gonna go to college, I actually couldn't get in because I couldn't get my financial aid together, so I wanted to get a cat. And we got this little cat, and the people at the vet's office where we got her said that they had named her Uno because she had a real bad infection in one of her eyes, and they thought she was gonna lose it, so they were gonna call her Uno because they thought she was just gonna have one eye. And so the eye ended up healing, and she was perfectly fine. And she was this cute little cat, and I got her. She's a little black cat, but she is very, very skittish because she was like a rescue, and because I just think something happened to her when she was like a little kitten. So anytime anybody like walks in a room or like gets too close to her, unless you like spend a good amount of time with her, she's just like terrified all the time, no matter like if she knows you or not.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
My rescue dog was like that as well.
Just rough stuff. But it's good though to be
Cool,
like,
man. People are cool.
oh for sure. But it's good to like get those animals alive and home, and to show them that they can trust people.
Yeah.
Do you think animals are like conscious to the same degree that people are conscious? Like, I know intelligence
animals.
is like a thing, but I feel like it's different. Like consciousness just on like ability to understand that you're alive.
Yeah, I believe some animals do. Like dogs and cats, I believe they have a conscience.
Yeah.
But for like more reptiles, if you do research into them, they are not very brightest. They only have basic instincts. I don't think they have the same amount. I believe they're conscious, like they know they're alive. Because if they didn't, that would be a problem.
Well, but so like for
That's
example,
very
like fish, like there are certain types of fish where like goldfish, for example, if you feed a goldfish too much, it'll just keep eating till it dies. And at that point, I'm wondering like, does it really know that it's like it has functions that it performs, but like it doesn't have the wherewithal to be like, there are certain things that'll kill you.
Yeah, no, that they're not as evolved as us because they're still connected to their wild side. So, in the wild, food is hard to come by. So they're gonna keep eating. They think that if they keep eating, they're gonna be more well fed. And they eventually, like the Donner Party, one of the members actually ate too much and died because they overate.
From people. Isn't that what that was? Like,
What?
wasn't the Donner Party like cannibals who like got trapped in the snow?
Yeah, some of them were, but one of the Donner members died actually because they met some friendly Native Americans or Indians, depending on how you call them. I don't know how to politically correctly call them that, but they met some friendly Native Americans and they gave him some bread, and the guy was just in the state of he needs to survive, so he just ate continuously until he died. So that I believe that's what's going through the animal's mind. They need to keep eating or else they would die. But eating too much kills them.
Yeah. Just ate too much bread.
Yeah. I'm gonna look this up so I can send you.
crazy. Pretty cool. Just ate too much bread.
Yeah.
I didn't. Well, Steven, I guess now you gotta be careful with your paninis.
Sorry.
It was William Hook who died from overeating.
Don't let William Hook get your paninis, Steven.
Why are you guys talking?
Oh, do you just
Got it.
immediately know what it is?
Yeah, no, I didn't watch
You know how he died of overeating. Yeah, man. Survival situations drive you.
it. It was either overeating, but recently they've been discussing that was actually it's the disease you get when
That's crazy. So
Ow.
nature is like, you're evil. I'm gonna kill you.
For humans at least, I don't know if that happens in other animals, because other animals cannibalize and they're fine.
Yeah, it was like not all animals. Like some animals naturally cannibalize.
Yeah.
The Garys, which I had for a while, they were rosy wolf snails. They're one of the only forms of only forms of carnivorous snails. They eat other snails, and many times when they are in like their breeding season or whatever, if they don't have a lot of food around, they'll just have their kids, and then as soon as their kids are born, they'll just eat all their kids and be like, well, I'll try again next time.
Damn.
Yep.
Don't some types of hamsters do that as well. If they're young.
I imagine, I don't know that much about hamsters, but it makes sense. They seem evil if you look in their eyes.
They seem evil. On the topic of animals, this is going to be really controversial for the dino community. I'm very into dinosaurs. I spend most of my free time researching them. Do you believe dinosaurs had feathers or not?
Ooh, so, I think, weird. Do I believe it? Like, I've seen that there's scientific evidence that supports dinosaurs having feathers, because certain ones of them, they're like they're modern equivalents. They're the ancestors of a lot of like bird species now.
Yeah. I believe yes and no. Here's my reasoning. I do a lot of research in dinosaurs, and for most of them, we found them without feathers, but we have found some of them with feathers. So, you know the modern human disease where humans grow excess hair? It's called like werewolf syndrome or something, and they have obscene amount of body hair. Imagine thousands and thousands, millions and thousands of years later from now, aliens come, find a bunch of human skeletons, not a lot of hair. They believe it's like that, but then they find a couple, like maybe 20 skeletons of humans that had a lot of hair. Would they say that all of us had hair like that? Or, 1 second. Would they say that all humans were hairy like that just because they found?
I'm
So-
lost.
Well, so I imagine because of like how many types of civilizations there are around the world, and like the different genetics which make people more or less hairy, I think alien species that would find us would be like, well, so some of them were hairier than others, but like they clearly like weren't, they were all like ape people, so they like came from very hairy things, and
Yeah.
also they did like pretty quickly, once they established civilizations, started like grooming themselves and like trimming their hair. So some were probably more hairy than others depending on cultural and genetic preferences.
But now let's put that back into the dinosaur situation. It's been hundreds of millions of years. We are now, would we be considered foreign to them? I don't know. But we find most of them without feathers. But we find a couple hundred with feathers. So
Got him. Dinosaur argument shut down.
Got him.
FBI got him for
I have no
talking
idea
about the
what-
truth on dinosaurs.
I have no idea why he had to bring up hypertrichosis.
Hypertrichosis? What's that?
Werewolf syndrome.
Oh. Well, I'm
Oh,
glad
a lot
you...
of-
I was doing that to make a point because some humans are hairy than others, but once we all die and say aliens come and they find skeletons, fossils, whatever you want to call them, of humans that had that, and would they say that all humans were like that, or that some of them
So I
were
feel
extra
like...
hairy?
I feel like the thing that would get you on that is that, like, if the alien species is at least, if not more, capable technologically than we are, I think what they would do for the simplest resolution to that question is just be like, well, let's look at the DNA. Because the DNA should have markers in it that describe, like, how hairy they should be. So then, vice versa, with dinosaurs, I'm sure we can look at like dinosaur bones and find DNA, like trace amounts of DNA in there that we can match with other records to be like, well, there are markers that show that this entire species would have normally had feathers. So it would be an oddity if they didn't, or vice versa, that it would be a specific trait that would be strange if this specific species of dinosaur did have feathers.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to go for, but I'm terrible at explaining things.
Got you. I think you were getting it. I think you had it.
Well, quality. Oh, Steven lost me there because I'm very bad. But one last thing before I go. So I have to
Yes.
go. The scary part is scientists are trying to remake dinosaurs. And they're
Jurassic
getting
Park.
very close to it because in one excavation of a T-Rex skeleton, they cracked one of the bones open and they found preserved DNA. So they're getting closer to making it a reality.
Do you think they have to fight Indiana Jones when they do stuff like that? Because he runs up to the excavation site when they crack the bone and goes, "It belongs in a museum," and starts just like hitting people with his whip.
I think he's too old for that now.
Fair enough. Harrison's getting up there.
Everything's going up there.
Yeah,
He'll join Princess Leia soon.
you're
The
right.
current running series.
Got him.
Got him. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.
See ya.
See you, mate.
Hey, new person?
What?
What? Oh, never mind. I thought it was a fourth person saying "see ya, mate," and I was like, "Oh, what?
No, come back.
Come back. We miss you." But yeah, pretty cool. It does seem like the stream is winding down. I'm gonna ooh, fuck. I don't know. Now we have 3. Wait, hold up. How many viewers do we have? Let's see. 3 viewers. Yeah, we have 3 viewers still going on. So I don't know. We'll see it. Terry Hooper said, no, Hopper. I keep messing up his name. It's Hopper 10, like the actor Dennis Hopper. That's cool. And then Terry said, "No worries. Good to meet you and everyone." Good to meet you, Terry.
What's good, Terry?
You should subscribble, Terry,
You should, Terry.
and turn on notifications because we've been having issues with that. I talked about that at the beginning of the stream. That I think you were telling me about that. And I was trying to pass the information along that most of our subscribers have issues with notification stuff.
I know, it's horrible.
It is. It really, really is. I also think I'm just going to go ahead and wind down because I'm pretty tired. And I got a couple
Okay.
things to do. But yeah, I had fun. I'm excited to see your Panini video. I'm excited to be doing new stuff with the Empire of Aeternia channel. And with everything that we're going to be doing. So I appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. And I love you guys. I appreciate the support. Steven, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll be talking soon. I wanna try and plan some stuff if we can.
Definitely, we'll do.
For sure. Other than that, I hope. Oh, one thing before we leave, I would like to talk about this
Yeah.
while I have you for a second. I want to try and figure out a way that we could do like a citizen video if we could, I would really love to do a thing where we just like have a try and get as many people as we can, and either do a live stream or just do like a regular like everybody like try and find a way to do like a Skype call or something and film it. I want to think of like topics or like a good thing that we could cover or a good way that we could like